Right now, the playing and singing of our national anthems by Mr. John Strachan.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free, from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
John Strachan with the national anthems as we get set for Game 3. The officials for tonight's game: the referee will be Don Koharski, and the linesman Pat DiPuzzo, along with Ron Finn. In goal for the Calgary Flames, their number one guy, Mike Vernon, 25 years old, 64 games in the regular season, 39 wins, 16 losses, a shutout, and a goals against of 3.53. And for the Kings, making his second straight playoff start, Glenn Healy, a rookie like Vernon, 25 years old, 34 games in the regular season, a record of 12-18-1 with a shutout and a goals against of 4.33. Kings looking for their first playoff win. They're down 2-0. Nichols starts up front with Carpenter and Robitaille. And here with the first period, Bob Miller.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. And off the draw at center ice, the puck pops right up into the King bench, and Chris Contos makes a nice catch of it and throws it as a souvenir up into the crowd.
Only one roster change for the Kings. Not in the lineup: Ron Duguay, Lyle Fair, Ken Hammond, John English, who played the other night, and Craig Duncanson. Dan Gratton, Eric Germain, Denny LaRocque, Bob Janicek, and the injured Jim Fox. They are not in the lineup tonight for the Kings. The only change: English is out, and veteran defenseman Larry Playfair is making his first playoff appearance for the Kings this season.
Now the Kings have changed up already. They've got Allison out at center, Fenton the left wing, Bourne the right wing, Wells and Kennedy, the veterans, on defense. Here's Wells giving it to Bourne. Right side, he shoots, and he hit the goal post. Bob Bourne from the right side hit the right goal post. Puck comes in the left wing corner. Taken there by Al McInnes of Calgary. He wraps it around the boards to the right side, held in by Kennedy into Bourne. Bourne, Calgary zone, right wing corner. Bourne kicks it, then gets it on his stick again. Goes back into the corner. He's bumped by Peplinski. Allison with it. He's checked by Ramage. Now Bourne spins around, kicks it loose over to Fenton in the Calgary zone. Fenton put it behind the net. Comes around the left wing boards. Jay Wells with a hard check. Puck taken by Allison. Penalty coming up. Wells falls down. Allison is down. We've got a penalty for high sticking called here. So the game just underway. No score. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know, when you're on the road, you need to pay attention to the signs. But if you're a new car shopper, these are the signs it pays to look for. Because the Southern California Chevrolet Dealer Association's $10,000 every 10-day sweepstakes could be your ticket to winning $10,000. Now, there's a winner every 10 days. To enter, you just see your participating dealer and you test drive any new Chevy, car, truck, or van. Now, there's no obligation and there's nothing to buy. So look for these signs where you see this sign.
Calgary Flame defenseman Al McGinnis gets an early penalty. High sticking at 44 seconds here in the first period. The Kings came out hitting. Jay Wells pinched in along the left boards. He bumped McGinnis up high, but McGinnis got his stick up a little bit too much, and he goes off for high sticking. So the Kings, with an early power play, try and get their first lead in the series. Their power play in the regular season was 9th. The Kings was 21.7. Penalty killing, the Flames were 9th.
And the Kings with a draw. Here's Duchesne shooting, save made. Rebound comes up the middle and cleared by Tim Hunter. So Vernon makes a save. Kings are off to a fast start, but not on the scoreboard yet. Bourne's first shot hit a goal post early, and now Vernon makes a save. The crowd roaring as the Kings come to center. Here's Duchesne. Drives it into the Calgary zone. In deep and behind the net. Now it comes on the right side to Taylor to Nichols. Nichols shoots over the net, off the glass. Rebound to the left point. Duchesne holds it in to Carson. Up the middle, right side. Off the stick of Nichols. Nichols with Taylor now into the corner. Taken there by Robitaille. He gives it to Taylor. Calgary zone to Robitaille. His pass. Left side. Duchesne with it. He shoots. It's deflected in front. Puck comes left side. Duchesne with it again. Kings on the power play. Up the middle. Blue line. Bernie Nichols shoots. Blocked in front and cleared by Colin Patterson.
No secret what the Kings are trying to do in this power play. Shoot whenever they get the opportunity from anywhere on the ice.
Now the Kings moving right to left as you join us on radio and TV. Here's Bernie Nichols with it. 55 seconds to go in the power play. Puck is in the Calgary zone, taken by Carson, left wing side. Gives it behind the net to Fenton. Out in front, but it bounces up the middle. Duchesne keeps it in. He gives it over to Carson. Now to Fenton. Fenton's pass back along the boards to Duchesne. Duchesne moving into the slot. Duchesne with it. Still waits. Passing down in deep to Carson. Carson throws it behind the net to Fenton. Right wing side. 35 seconds to go in the power play. Now a pass up the middle to Duchesne. To the right side to Nichols. To Duchesne at the blue line. He shoots, deflected in front. And the Flames, who had 23 short-handed goals on the year, bring it to center, but lose it to Nichols. Nichols rolled it across the line, and Ramage of Calgary broke it up. He sends it into the Kings zone. Here's Perry Berezan, and Laidlaw going for it. Laidlaw takes Berezan into the boards. 13 seconds to go in the King power play. In the King zone, Bourne gives it to Laidlaw behind the King net. Game just underway early in the first period. No score. 4 seconds to go in the power play for the Kings. Laidlaw sends it into the Calgary zone. The Flames are back at full strength. They've got McInnes out of the penalty box, and he's got the puck at center ice. Here's McInnes. He shoots from center ice, and a save by Healy, and he falls on the rebound. Dave Wells clearing a Calgary player out from in front of the net, as it was Colin Patterson trying to get in there looking for a rebound. So we have no score here early in the first period. This is an officially copyrighted broadcast of the Los Angeles Kings and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited.
Almost 6 years to the day since the Kings have won a playoff game here at home. Since that miracle on Manchester game, they are 0 for their last 6 in the playoffs here at the Fabulous Forum. Kings had an opportunity to get their first lead in this series. Now this is the third game. With that early power play, Duchesne had a couple of chances, but Vernon saw both shots and kicked them out.
Face off to the right of Glenn Healy. Newendijk for the Flames against Chris Contos of the Kings. 17:06 to go in the first period. And off the draw, the puck comes in behind the King net, taken there by Laidlaw. He's back in defense with Jay Wells. Laidlaw's pass to Contos at center ice. Contos to the red line, drives it into the Flame zone. Goaltender Vernon out to take it. He snaps it around the boards, and then he gets knocked down behind the net as the puck comes around to the right side. Paul Gay was cutting it. Flames with it. Here's Suter in deep, shooting, and a save made off the arm of Healy. Puck taken by the Kings in their own zone. Wells had it. Now Sykes with it. Sykes to center. Cross ice pass goes to Loughlin. Tipped away from him, and the Flames with it again. Across the line, Joe Mullen shooting, and a stick save by Healy. Puck comes around the boards on the left wing side, Kings zone. Held in now and then tipped out to center by Craig Loughlin off the stick of Joe Mullen. 16:22 to go. We're in the first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon, and there's no score in the game. Puck comes to Baumgartner at center ice for the Kings. He bumps into Lanny McDonald. Puck is loose, taken to the King blue line by Gay. Gay's pass off the boards into the Flame zone. Chased in deep now, and the goaltender Vernon wraps it around to the veteran Lanny McDonald. He's had a lot of jump in this series, but his pass taken away by Duchesne. Duchesne sends it over to Bernie Nichols. Nichols just inside the King line, or inside the Flame line, drives it in deep. Now it rolls off the stick of Carpenter, but not out. Held in by Duchesne. On the right side to Robitaille. He's got Carpenter in front. Robitaille around behind the net, in front of Carpenter. He shoots, just deflected wide to the left. Picked up by Nichols. In front, Robitaille fanned on it. Back come the Flames. They got a 3-on-2. On the right wing, it's Tim Hunter. Hunter gives it to Lanny McDonald. Across the line, he shoots, deflected off the glass. Puck taken by Baumgartner. He sends it on the left wing side. Up the center ice, Kings with it. Contos to Nichols, and off his stick, and McGinnis has it for the Flames. A furious pace to the start of this game 3. Here's a puck tipped away at the King line by Laidlaw to Nichols. Nichols bumped by the back-checking Lanny McDonald. 15-12 to go in the first period. There's no score, but what a start to this game tonight. The Kings are down 2-0, and they have come out with a tremendous jump here at the start of the game, but there's still no score. Puck driven down into the King zone by Gary Roberts. Flames change on the fly. Here's Dean Kennedy with it now. Kennedy and Laidlaw back in defense. Pass up to center ice, broken up, Flames with it. Here's Hoken Lube, right wing side. He fires it into the King zone. It comes around on the left wing. Dave Taylor with it, can't clear it out. Now it's down in the corner of the King zone, and over to get it is Laidlaw. He spins away from Lube, gets it to Taylor. Taylor bumped again by Colin Patterson, and back to get it for the Kings is Laidlaw. Laidlaw gets it on the left side to Contos. He banks it off the boards out to center ice. 14:28 to go, first period. No score. Kings with it. Here's Contos to center. He gives it to Carson. Carson across the line to Contos. Tipped away by Rob Ramage to center, 2-on-1. Here's Berezan with Patterson. Berezan shoots. Save made by Healy. Kings with it. Taylor clears it to center. Ramage breaks it up. His drive off the boards into the King zone. Back to get it is Duchesne.
6 minutes into the game, the Flames get their first real good scoring opportunity with that 2-on-1 attack. Berezan and Patterson. Berezan, the puck carrier, took the shot.
Tonelli being tied up in the King zone by Playfair, and the puck comes loose. Kings with it. Lead pass up ahead to Fenton. He rolled it to the Flame line, broken up by Suter. Here's Gary Suter. His pass down the right side, chased into the King zone by Mullen, but the goaltender Healy drives it against the board, held in by Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk drives it in deep. Mullen gets bumped in the corner by Allison. Puck taken by Tonelli, right side. His shot flies to the left. Rebound to the left point to Suter. Suter shooting, deflected in front. Loose puck, Kings with it, cleared by Playfair, and we'll get an icing. Now they wave it off. No icing. Gets back behind the Flame net, played by Vernon. 13:21 to go in the first period with no score. Long pass ahead to the King line. Two-line pass to Joe Nieuwendyk. And they'll face it off in the Calgary zone. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
When I played baseball, I could hit the ball halfway to China. So I figured I could do the same thing with a golf ball. No way. But after digging up some turf, there's nothing we like better than cold Miller Lite. It's less filling, and it's got that big taste us hackers appreciate. Where'd that go?
No matter where you play, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Next time I'm going to use a driver.
Back here at the Forum, scoreless first period. The Flames with a good chance. A few seconds ago, Berezan shooting from the top of the left circle. A 2-on-1 rush with Patterson, the decoy. Playfair went to Patterson. Berezan took the shot, but Healy with the save.
Now off the draw just inside the Flame line. It's poked in by Wells. Over on the right side, Gay tried to get it, held into the right point. King still with it. Pass into the slot to Sykes. He tipped it toward the net, and a save by Vernon. Sykes was being checked right in front of the net by Dana Merzen, but he got his stick on it. Tipped it toward the net, but didn't have much speed on it.
Good job by the Kings keeping it in at the blue line. They just dump it in front. Good job by Merzen. because he was out positioned for that loose puck by Sykes, but Merzen used all his size and strength, 6'2", 200 pounds, to effectively tie up Phil Sykes and prevent Sykes from redirecting it with anything on it. Phil Sykes has been a force for the Kings all season long, an extremely hard worker, and he gets involved, something that all the forwards are doing here early in the first.
Kings have got 3 defensemen on the ice now. Larry Playfair moves up to play left wing with Gay at center and Laughlin on the right side. Kennedy and Wells back. Kennedy's pass broken up by the Flames and cleared out to center ice. Joelato sends it left side to Peplinski, driving in, and Jay Wells takes him out of the play and into the boards, and they spin one another around. Peplinski's stick comes up high. No whistle yet. Play continues. Puck is back in the Flame zone. The referee, Don Koharski, was just staring at Wells and Peplinski as play continued. Now the Flames with it. Here's Kennedy going to get a penalty here. He grabbed Lanny McDonald, pulled him down. Kennedy's going to get a holding penalty, and everybody barrels into the corner of the King zone. Nick, it looks like the King defensemen are tired of getting beat, and they're taking the body tonight. We'll be right back. No score. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know, without the right help, finding your dream house can be confusing and frustrating. Well, that's where a real estate broker comes in, because brokers know what's available, and they can match you up with just the right house. They can help you save money negotiating the price, too. They'll even help you find affordable financing. And Great Western works with brokers on home loans every day. Together, Great Western and your real estate broker can get you home fast.
First Kings penalty of the night to defenseman Dean Kennedy. Lanny McDonald cuts to the outside on the left side, and Dean Kennedy reaches out with his right arm and dumps Kennedy to the ice. Now, right before that, a heavy hit by a pair of 24s. 2 physical veterans, Wells and Peplinski. Wells, Peplinski waltzing around, crashing into the boards. They get the sticks up. Koharski was watching it all the way, but I guess he figured no injury, no harm, no foul. He let play continue. Flames in the power play now.
And they're dangerous with a man advantage. Here's Hokenlube to the left point to Suter. Suter still with it to the left point. His pass taken away by Bernie Nichols, and he clears the puck.
Gary Suter, a goal and 6 assists. 7 points already in the 2-game series. He and McInnes, the keys in the point.
Long pass down the middle, and trying to draw the penalty was Neuendijk, but he didn't get it. And the Kings with a puck clear it out to center ice as Nichols flips it high in the air. 11:58 to go, first period. No score in game number 3 of this playoff series. Kings with it again at center ice. Nichols with it. He dropped it, went back to get it, and the Flames pick it up at center ice. Pass to McInnes. He snaps it on the left side. They got a man breaking in, but a pass comes back out to center. Neuendijk tried to get it to the blue line to Suter, but Suter was still out at center ice. Now here's Gary Suter with it with 1:05 to go on the power play for the Flames. No score, first period. Here's Hokenlube, 50-goal score on the year. Right side, Lube moving in deep, goes behind the net, sent it around, tried to get it to Neuendijk with Healy sliding out. They couldn't get it to him. Kings with it. Here's Paul Fenton up to center ice. Fenton stops. Still in the neutral zone. Now gives it to Duchesne. Duchesne to the red line. Now passes back into the King zone to Laidlaw. The crowd roaring as the Flames can't get the puck. Now here's Sykes with it, and he shoots it into the Calgary zone.
That's what the Kings did very well in the last 2 months of the season when they killed penalties. They controlled the puck at center ice and in their own zone.
Now Suter with it. 23 seconds to go on the power play. Offside. Calgary at the King blue line.
We mentioned Gary Suter and how valuable he is to this Flames hockey club on the power play, but he's emerged into an outstanding overall defenseman. Set a Flames mark this season for points by a rear guard with 91, 9th round pick, 180th overall in the 84 entry draft. The Flames got a plum out of that draft year. Gary Suter, left defense.
Faceoff will be just outside the King blue line. Nick, we understand Kings owner Bruce McNall is home with a flu tonight, so I'm sure he's tuned in, and hope that Bruce will feel better and be back out here tomorrow night. That's when game 4 will be played here at the Forum tomorrow night, and there are tickets available. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Nichols to center. Kings are shorthanded for another 10 seconds. Nichols comes back toward the King blue line, then flips it ahead to Bob Bourne. Bourne into the Flame zone. He's stopped by McCrimmon. And the penalty is over. Kings are back at full strength.
Good aggressive penalty killing. No shots for Calgary on that power play.
Puck taken by Tonelli. Left wing. He shoots. And a blistering shot wide to the right. Rebound off the boards. Kings with it. Carson to Contos. To center ice. Tipped away from Taylor. Flames with it again. Here's Brad McCrimmon. Over on the right side to Big Dana Merzen. Merzen to center. No score first period. 10:08 to go in the period. Puck comes in to Lanny McDonald. He overskates. It's taken by Tim Hunter. Hunter bumped by Jay Wells. Centering pass broken up. Kings with it. Here they come to center. Jay Wells got it from Taylor from Contos. Now Taylor across the line. Broken up. He's taken out of the play. And here's Lanny McDonald with it. His pass ahead. Gary Roberts. Roberts down the right side. Throws it right through the slot. Tim Hunter with it for the Flames. Hunter's pass broken up by Taylor. Now ahead to Playfair. Playfair trying to give it to Carson, but it went behind him at center ice. 9:38 to go, first period. No score in the game. Puck back behind the King net again, chased in by Duchesne. Up on the right side, Taylor to Carson. Carson at center, can't get around Berezan. Berezan bumped and knocked down by Duchesne. Puck is in the King zone, left wing side. Playfair double teamed, and the puck frozen against the board. No score. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Rap musicians like to think the best light beer is the one we drink. And every rapping cat I know drinks Miller Lite. Ain't that so? Taste flavor, let's fill it. Taste flavor, let's fill it. Lights got body, lights got soul. Don't stop me now, I'm on a roll. Get it right, there's only one light beer from Miller Lite.
Good intensity by both the Kings and the Flames here in the first period. We're midway through now, 9:21 left. The only good chance by the Flames, the 2-on-1 rush shot by Berezan.
Now off the draw, the Kings within their own zone. Here's Bob Bourne, clears it up to center ice. It bounces past Ramage, chased in by Allison, but the goaltender Vernon got it on his stick, and then his clearing pass hit Allison, but the Flames get back to get it. Ramage with it, can't clear it. Held in by Kennedy. Throws it into the corner. Flames with it again. On the right wing side now, Shane Churlick can't clear it. Bourne takes it away. Bourne's pass broken up by the Flames, and Joel Otto sends it to center where Kennedy has it for the Kings, and he drives it back behind the Flame net.
We mentioned that one good chance for the Flames from forward Perry Berezan. None of the Kings forwards have had a good scoring chance yet for Los Angeles.
Here's Kennedy with it. It's poked off his stick, and then Joe Mullen poke checks it down into the King zone, and back to get it is Laidlaw. Laidlaw goes right in front of the King goaltender, but we've got penalties coming up here, one on each team, I believe.
Yeah, Don Koharski looking at a couple of players. They were slashing at each other, and Otto is going to the penalty box for the Calgary Flames, and the King door is open as well. Kennedy goes. Scoreless first period. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Discount Tire Centers. For championship performance and unbeatable prices, Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality. By Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets. 100 years strong, will always be there. By Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. And by your Southern California Chevrolet Dealers Association, home of the $10,000 every 10 days test drive sweepstakes. No obligation, nothing to buy. To enter, just test drive any new Chevy at a participating dealer.
Penalties at 11:27. King defenseman Dean Kennedy goes off. Center Joel Otto for the Calgary Flames. Laidlaw had the puck turning in front of his own net, and right behind Laidlaw, Otto, 29, and Kennedy, 6, slashed each other. So both clubs remain at full and equal strength. Scoreless first period, 8:30 left.
Now the Kings within their own zone, led by Laidlaw to center and touched by Robitaille, and a two-line pass. And look out now, Robitaille bumped by Poplinski right near the Flame penalty box. And everybody comes in. Lanny McDonald was there along with Poplinski.
Luke roughed up by Poplinski after that whistle for that two-line pass, and Luke was trying to get away from Poplinski's grasp and turned around and kind of threw a left at Poplinski from behind. And let's see if we're going to get a couple of penalties here. Don Koharski motioning to Robitaille, and Poplinski will go also.
So we have no score in the first period with 8:24 to go in the period. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Travel arranged through U.S. Air. When traveling to San Francisco or any of the other Bay Area airports, you have even more to smile about now that PSA is part of U.S. Air.
As Jim Poplinski was going to the penalty box, he was getting an earful from Jay Wells, and everybody congregated right by the door of the Calgary penalty box. Now, Wells has since moved away from the pack in front of the Calgary box, and Lanny McDonald and Bernie Nichols are listening and trying to find out if Koharski is going to call any other penalties. Again, this all started after a two-line pass was called. Poplinski and Robitaille roughing each other up. Nichols came in for the Kings. Then Laidlaw and Wells, Suter. And then as everybody was going to the penalty box, Poplinski was prevented from going in cleanly. Wells was pushing at him, and I'd be surprised if Wells gets away without a penalty. Penalties to Robitaille and Poplinski are at 11:36, and Terry Crisp, the rookie coach of the Calgary Flames, I think is wondering why Wells isn't getting a penalty as well. Terry Crisp, who was in the organization for 2 years in the American Hockey League before taking over. Jay Wells, physical force for the Kings, and he's been physical and verbal, I guess, here in the first period.
Kings are in a snarly mood and trying to get back in this series. They're down 2-0, and we have had a fast-paced first period. There's still no score. 8:15 to go in the period. Both teams still at full strength. Puck is back in the Flame zone. Suter sends it to the blue line and out to center ice, taken by Perry Berezan of Calgary, and back-checking is Carpenter to sweep it away, but it comes deep in the King zone, taken by Laidlaw. Here's Laidlaw with it. He gives it over to Duchesne. Here's Steve Duchesne up across the King line, and at his pocket picked by Mullen, who took it away. Mullen chases it into the King zone, but Laidlaw gets there first. He gets it to Nichols. Now on the right side, here's Lachlan. Craig Lachlan into the Flame zone. Taken away from him, cleared back to the King line, and Carpenter back to get it. He gets it over to Baumgartner. Baumgartner plays it off the boards to center ice, taken away by the Flame. Driven back in by Joe Neuendijk of Calgary. Now in the corner, here's Pinelli. His pass hit a skate, deflected for the net, and given back behind the net by Healy to Nichols to Condos. Condos clears it out to center. 7:27 to go, first period. Game 3 of this series. Kings with it at center ice. There's no score. Here's Jimmy Carson, right wing. Carson, he shoots, he scores! Gives the Kings their first lead in the series as the puck came from Lachlan over to Carson, driving down the right side, and he drives a low shot into the net, and the Kings lead 1-0.
The goal at 12:42, a 55-goal season this year, best ever by an American-born player. The only King with 2 goals in the first 2 games. He gets playoff goal number 3. He completely outskated Dana Merzen one-on-one from the blue line in. Merzen turning, fell down. Carson looked up and went down low on Mike Vernon. The goal at 12:42, 1-0 Kings.
Lachlan and Baumgartner get assists on it. Now the puck in the King zone, but Wells without a stick shovels a hand pass to Carpenter to get the whistle. And he does with 7:06 to go in the first period. Kings 1, Flames nothing. Nick, we said earlier, it's a key to a King victory tonight. Get a lead in the game.
Well, Reinhardt had come up. Lachlan worked the puck out of a pack at the red line to Carson, who was one-on-one with Merzen. Merzen no match for Carson's speed, and a beautiful shot by Carson. Low stick side for his 3rd playoff goal from Lachlan and Baumgartner. Now we get a chance to see how the Flames will react pressure-wise, being down by a goal in this playoff series. Jimmy Carson, Band-Aid on his chin tonight. He got a 7-stitch cut when he was high-sticked with 2 minutes left in Game 3 by Tim Hunter.
Face off in the King zone to the left of Glenn Healy, and the draw won by Lanny McDonald to Gary Roberts. He sweeps it into the corner, taken by Duchesne. Duchesne gives it to Jay Wells. Here's Wells back behind his own net, comes around the right side. Now his pass off the boards, out of the reach of Carson, taken by Playfair, then back to Wells. Wells pokes into the flame line, and Ramage has it for Calgary. Here's Al McInnes with it. He gets it on the left side. Across the line is Berezan. He shoots, and it's deflected wide. Puck comes into the corner. Berezan goes for it. The net gets knocked loose and down hard in the corner when Berezan and Wells. Berezan gets up.
I think he's shaken up, Bob. Yep, I think he's hurt, and he's upset with Wells.
Berezan moves away now, and he's hollering at the referee, Don Koharski.
Berezan still hollering out there on the ice as the play was stopped because the net was dislodged. Perry Berezan, playing a lot with the injury to Mike Bullard, who again is not available for tonight's game. But Berezan moved in, cut to his right, took a shot. It was deflected wide. He went for his own rebound with Wells. Wells got there first. The two of them bumped, and then Wells got his stick up high, and Berezan obviously is complaining that there should have been a high sticking penalty. Apparently Berezan is cut, and right now no penalty being called by Don Koharski. And of course the Flames will double check a few times with Koharski. Berezan is still hollering at Jay Wells as he skates away to the bench. So Jay Wells has been a visible force for the Kings here in this first period, Bob.
Berezan still skating around to have more words. He's bleeding from the mouth, and he wants to talk with the referee, Don Koharski. Jay Wells just skating around saying, hey, I didn't do anything. Well, you wouldn't know it by looking at the mouth of Perry Berezan, and he wants to know why there is no penalty coming up here.
And he's still talking with Wells. I think Koharski would be wise right now to give Berezan and Wells penalties, although I think Jay is playing it smart. He's getting off the ice. I mean, this, if there's ever a delay of the game situation for both the Flames and Kings, this is it.
Berezan still spitting some blood from the mouth, and he's the one that's been skating around trying to get the referee's attention, but there is not going to be a penalty called on the play. 6:38 to go. We're in the first period. The Kings, on Jimmy Carson's goal, have a 1-0 lead. And the Flame bench probably not too happy, especially after a 5-minute penalties called against Tim Hunter in Game 2 in Calgary for opening that 7-stitch cut on Jimmy Carson's face.
And that penalty called by the rear linesman on the play, Gerard Gauthier. Of course, the linesman can't call major penalties if they see them, and the referee doesn't.
Well, Berezan stays out. He's going to take the face-off now against Chris Contos. The draw comes toward the King goaltender, Healy. He gives it to Laidlaw. Now, the corner, he gets stopped, and the Kings can't clear it out. It bounced away from Taylor, now to the blue line, and poked out to center ice. Now it bounces back into the King zone. It's taken there by Baumgartner. Right side, Carson shoots wide to the right. Puck came to Carson on the right wing in the Flame zone. He shot it wide. Now a pass in front. Penalty coming up. We have a slashing penalty call. With 6:13 to go in the first period. Slashing is the call.
Baumgartner got up into the play, pinched along the left boards, and then centered the puck. And then we got the slashing penalty. And Perry Berezan is going to the penalty box. So Berezan, talk about a rough shift. He gets clipped with a stick, no penalty called on Wells, and then he comes down the ice, and as the Kings put on some pressure, he takes a slashing penalty. So the Kings go on the power play. Berezan for slashing at 13:47. The slash takes place right side of the screen on the simulcast. Berezan slashing Baumgartner as Baumgartner pinches in along the left boards. So a good read by Baumgartner, and he drew the penalty. Kings up 1-0. They'll get the power play.
Berezan cooling off over in the penalty box, and the faceoff will be in the Flame zone to the left of goaltender Mike Vernon. Kings have a 1-0 lead. 6:13 to go, first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. Nice to have all of you with us tonight. And off the draw, the puck taken by the Flames, and Colin Patterson brings it to center, trying to give it to Joel Otto. Otto trying to get around Contos. Otto in deep, over to Patterson. He shoots, he scores! A short-handed goal. They led the league with 23 of them in the regular season, and the Flames have tied the score as Joel Otto gives it to Colin Patterson, and Patterson scores a short-handed goal, and the game is tied 1-1.
Patterson gave the puck to Otto on the left boards. Otto lost it, had to race after it with Contos. Otto just outraced Contos. Laidlaw had the angle, and Otto with a beautiful centering pass to Patterson, who took it, moved in, and beat Healy down low for the shorthanded goal at 13:58. We're tied at 1.
That's their second shorthanded goal of the series. The empty net goal the other night in Game 2 by Suter was also shorthanded. Puck taken by the Kings in the Flame zone now, still on the power play. Here's Bob Bourne, right wing corner, gives it behind the net. Fenton with it there. He waits, comes around the right side. His pass now comes up the middle. Conto shooting, save in the glove of Vernon, and he had Fenton right in front of him, but Vernon still made the save, and he hangs on. So with 5:34 to go in the first period, the game is tied 1-1. This game is coming to you live from the fabulous Forum.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite. And by Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality. With 75 locations to serve you, now California's largest independent Michelin dealer.
Flames tying it up, the shorthanded goal at 13:58. Patterson's first from Otto. Kings still working on the power play. They get the puck top of the slot to Contos. Contos let a drive go that was deflected partially, and Fenton cruising right in front of Vernon. Good timing play there, but Fenton just was a split second too early. Vernon made the save and held on.
Face off in the Calgary zone. We want to send our congratulations to the West Covina Midget Blues hockey team. They won the city championship today, coached by John Holmes, and they'll go to the state tournament in San Diego next week. We wish them all the best of luck. Puck comes in deep in the Flame zone. Now Carson sends it behind the net to Robitaille. Here's Robitaille on the right side. Power play is on. Robitaille comes back toward the blue line. Stops there, right wing. Now feeds it up the middle to Duchesne. Duchesne's pass tipped on the way in by Colin Patterson and cleared by McInnes. Kings start back out of their own zone again with 5:08 to go in the first period. 1-1 the score. Pass over on the right side taken by Taylor. He drives it behind the Flame net. Now Robitaille passing in front, and it's intercepted nicely. And up to center ice comes Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk to the King line. Around Nichols. In front he shoots. Saved by Healy and Nieuwendyk. And Healy crash into the net. And we're going to have a penalty called here. The Kings, Nick, have been just about burned twice, at least once for sure, and almost there, with forwards back on defense and getting beat.
Well, the Flames using their speed, and two big players have really bolted by forwards. Earlier, Otto right here, Joe Nieuwendyk, a solo rush through center with Nichols back. He cuts to the outside. Bernie's trying to hold him up, but Nieuwendyk gets by, loses his balance, and there was where the hook took place. And both clubs will be shy of skater for a few seconds. Joe Nieuwendyk, 51 goals in the regular season, hooked on the left arm as he tried to cut in for a better shooting angle on Glenn Healy.
Yeah, but I don't think Bernie pulled him down. I think it was unfortunate for Nichols that he got his stick up there and touched him just as Nieuwendyk was going down. And he gets the hooking penalty. So both teams are a man short for 39 seconds. Then the Flames are going to have the power play.
Other action in the National Hockey League tonight, Game 3 and every other series. Third period, Winnipeg 6, Edmonton 4. Jets looking to win a game. Detroit up 2-1 now. They win 6-3 at Toronto. Chicago leading in the third period, 6-2 against St. Louis. Montreal is now up 3-0 in games. They win tonight 4-3. Buffalo beating Boston in the third, 6-2, looking for a win. New Jersey shutting out the Islanders in the third period at New Jersey, 3-0. That series is tied at 1. Philadelphia 4, Washington 3 in the third. That series is tied up at 1.
Well, Nick, a lot of the home teams are doing quite well tonight. The Kings hope that trend continues here. We're tied 1-1 with 4:52 to go in the first period. Face off in the King zone. Both teams a man shy. Here's Joe Mullen with it. He shoots, deflected high in the air and up out of play. So Joe Mullen from the left side got a shot. He'll be Nick's guest later on in the telecast tonight.
Well, Joe Mullen, a real impact player for the Calgary Flames. Now with 5 consecutive 40-goal seasons. He got his 40th in the last game. 22 of his 40 goals this season were on the road. Product out of New York City. Of course, his brother Brian, former Winnipeg Jet, a great year in his first year with the New York Rangers in '87-88. Joey Mullen, a real sniper.
And now off the draw in the Kings zone, it comes to Ramage at the blue line. He shoots, blocked nicely by Baumgartner. Kings with it. Here is Carpenter to the red line. He's got Lachlan with it. Carpenter still with it, but couldn't get it to Lachlan. It's taken away by Mullen. 4.5 minutes to go, first period. 1-1 the score. Here's Mullen for the Flames. Left side pass to Otto. Otto leads it there for Reinhardt with a drive, deflected wide. Picked up by the Kings in their own zone. On the left wing now, here's Carpenter. Carpenter to the red line. Flips it into the Flames zone. Kings will go for a change. Here's Lachlan in deep. He goes behind the net, and the Flames now are on the power play. Karazan out of the penalty box. He comes over to the bench. Here's Mullen to center. Flames with a power play. Mullen down the left side trying to get around Tom Laidlaw. Can't do it. He drives the puck around the boards to Reinhardt. Reinhardt on the right side. His pass tipped away by Allison, taken by Bob Bourne. Here's Bourne to center. Here's Bourne to the red line. Curls back to the King line. Bourne still with it. Bourne now back to the red line. Now into the Flame zone. He's pulled down and a penalty to Al MacInnis. Good hustle by the veteran Bob Bourne, and he drew the penalty. Al MacInnis yaps at the referee as he goes to the penalty box.
Bob, not only good hustle, but a smart play, because Bourne knew he had a lot of room to work with the puck at center, so he just lit the afterburners, and he still has some pretty good speed. He cut to the outside on MacInnis. MacInnis was virtually standing still at the blue line, so when Bourne made that move, MacInnis had to draw the penalty. Bobby Bourne, he has been around, an original Islander, appearing in playoff game number 137, 96 playoff points. He's got an assist in the 2 first games against Calgary. So MacInnis to the penalty box at 16-17 here in the first period.
Both teams are shy a man for 51 seconds. Then the Kings get Bernie Nichols out of the penalty box, and they'll have the man advantage. Remember, Game 4 in the series here tomorrow night. Tickets available. Forum box office open every day at 10 a.m. and all Ticketmaster outlets. Puck taken back behind the Flame net. Now up on the right side. Here's Joel Otto for Calgary. Slides it over on the left side. Here is Suter with a drive and a save by Healy. Healy leads it for Laidlaw in 33 seconds. Kings will be on the power play. Up the center ice, Kings with it. Chris Contos. Contos right side shooting, and it's wide to the right. Rebound along the boards taken by Håkan Loob of Calgary. Loob in his own zone. Here's Loob up to center. Both teams still a man shy. Here's Loob trying to get around Laidlaw. Loob in deep, trying to give it to Mullen. And it goes off Healy, who went flopping into the crease, and the puck stayed out, and the Kings bring it to center. Gay gives it to Contos. Contos, Flame zone, broken up by Rob Ramage. 4 seconds now, and the Kings will be on the power play. Kings with it at their own blue line. Nichols is out. Kings on the power play. Here is a pass to Robitaille. Tried to give it to Jimmy Carson. He couldn't get it. Taken by Loob. He slaps it out to center ice. Picked up in front of the King bench by Duchesne. 2:39 to go here in the first period. 1-1 the score. Robitaille bumps into the back of Taylor. Kings try to hold it in, and they do. Robitaille at the right point. He gives it to Duchesne. Duchesne left side to Nichols. Flame zone. Nichols against the board. Nichols still with it to Duchesne. His shot deflects right side to Robitaille. Robitaille to Duchesne. Duchesne moves to the right point. 36 seconds to go on the power play. To Nichols, left wing. He shoots, save, rebound. Taylor with it to Nichols. Right side, Duchesne. Duchesne to Taylor. In front, shot by Carson, and a save by Vernon. Carson had his stick in the air thinking he'd scored, and McCrimmon pushes his glove in the face of Carson.
Yeah, both players started pushing at the same moment. Carson and Brad McCrimmon. Carson had his stick in the air while lying on the ice. He thought he had a goal on a rebound of Taylor's shot, and probably a little frustration. And McCrimmon wanted to make sure that Jimmy stayed frustrated for a few minutes. The Kings working the puck around in the power play. Nichols with a shot. Then Duchesne on the left side. They set up Taylor down low, but Vernon with a couple of saves. And Don Koharski will probably call coincidental penalties right here. The pushing and shoving by second-year center Jimmy Carson and defenseman Brad McCrimmon. Again, the Kings working on the power play. Steve Duchesne takes a shot. It's knocked down in front. Comes to Taylor. Taylor then chips it up high. Save is made, and Carson thought he had flipped it over Vernon into the net, but the puck came to the left of the cage, and Ramage was lying down playing goaltender. Carson had the stick up, and then McCrimmon came over and said, hey, don't put that stick up unless the puck is in the net. So penalties to Carson and Brad McCrimmon. Roughing minors at 17:53.
Faceoff will be outside the blue line of Calgary. Well, the Kings are certainly battling to stay alive in this series. They need to win one of these games, either here tonight or tomorrow night, to send the series back to Calgary next Tuesday night. Smythe Division final. Winnipeg gets their first win, winning at home 6-4 over the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Oilers lead that series 2-1. Bobby Carpenter on the draw for the Kings, and he wins the draw from Joel Otto. This game here is tied 1-1 with 2 minutes to go in the first period. Here's Nichols for the Kings. Kings on the power play for another 14 seconds. Nichols drives it in, broken up by the goaltender Vernon, but then Taylor ran into Robitaille. Kings hold it in. Nichols, he can't hold it into the blue line. It went right off his stick out to center ice, and the Flames are going to be back at full strength now. And both teams at full strength with 1:38 to go here in this first period. Loose puck at center ice. Robitaille with it. Robitaille almost lost it. He gets it again. Here's Robitaille into the Flame zone. He goes to the right side. His pass in deep, broken up by McInnes. Al McInnes of Calgary sends it around the boards toward the blue line. Held in by Laidlaw, then tipped down to center by Colin Patterson. And the Kings back to get it. Duchesne snaps it out to center ice, taken off the boards by Gary Suter of Calgary. Suter gives it to Dana Merzen, now to Hunter, up to center to Lanny McDonald. His pass behind Gary Roberts. Kings with it and cleared to center. Here's Allison into the Flame zone. Allison at the left point, sends it right side. Laughlin shooting, save by Vernon. Laughlin with a blast from the right side, and Vernon with a save, and the Flames ice the puck as Baumgartner gets back to touch it. 50 seconds to go in the first period, and Vernon comes up with a stop on a blast by Laughlin from the right side. Allison had it and then sent it over to Laughlin with a head of steam, and he just drove a shot from the right side of the slot, and Mike Vernon was right there to make the stop. Flames managed to get to the rebound and clear it out. Face-off back in the Flame zone after the icing call. 50 seconds to go, first period. Dave Taylor, King captain, will be Nick's guest live right at the end of this period. Kings discussing the face-off here as the Flames get set to the right of their goaltender, Mike Vernon, second in the league in wins this year with 39. Only Grant Fuhr had more, and he had 40. Santos will take the draw for the Kings. He's got Bourne and Duchesne right behind him. He's got Playfair up on a wing. So it's Santos with Playfair and Bourne, and we've got a penalty here. Well, I don't know if Playfair's upset. McInnes is going to get a penalty. I don't know if they got both of them or not. Let's see what they're going to do. Playfair, I think, is headed to the penalty box. So they got both of the players. Playfair goes in for the Kings. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they didn't get... Playfair's going to go off the ice. McInnes is still skating around, and he'll go off the ice also. We have only 45 seconds remaining here in this first period. So the penalty, Al McInnes, he's headed to the dressing room. And Larry Playfair of the Kings get 2 minutes each for slashing. So the time of the penalty is 19:15, and the face-off in the Flame zone again. 1-1 the score. Kings now have Bob Bourne out with Fenton and Contos up front. Contos at center with Bourne on the right side, Fenton on the left. Laidlaw and Wells back in defense. Face-off right at the top of the slot in the Calgary zone. Contos wins the draw. It's poked in by Wells, but taken away now by Suter. Suter's got Mullen breaking. Here's Suter with it, and Wells makes sure Mullen goes offside. So Suter comes back to center. Now gives it to Mullen. Now to Otto. Otto into the King zone. He gives it on the right side to Paplinski with a shot. Tipped in front. Off on the right side to Mullen. Mullen bumped by Contos. Contos pokes Mullen off the puck, and it's taken by Chris Contos. He gives it to Fenton. 20 seconds to go in the period. Fenton shoots from center ice. It's wide. Rebound to the side of the Flame net. Played by the goaltender Vernon. 13 seconds left to go in this period. Up to center, Flames with it. Here's Joey Mullen at the red line. Drives a high rising shot that is knocked down by Healy. Kings within their own zone. Wells with it. 2 seconds to go in the period, and that's it. So that's the end of the first period here at the fabulous Forum, and the Los Angeles Kings finally got a lead in the game, although it didn't last too long. Carson got the Kings off and running with his third of the series from Laughlin and Baumgartner at 12:42, but a little over a minute later, back came the Flames on a shorthanded goal by Colin Patterson, assisted by Joel Otto at 13:58. So in a couple of moments, Nick will be talking with the captain of the Kings, a playoff veteran, Dave Taylor, and we'll have that for you in just a couple of moments. We're at the end of one period. It's the Kings 1, the Calgary Flames 1. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
It's a loud, opinionated, refreshing voyage into the world of the National Hockey League. It's Don Cherry's This Week in Hockey, and it's only on Prime Ticket Network.
Don't forget, tune in.
Savvy that he's through all these bouts, and he is in great trouble. Taylor can't win. They're stopping the fight.
He withstood the attack, and hard right by Hassan. Hard right. Grant is in deep trouble.
Wednesday night, the Los Angeles Lasers look to keep moving towards a playoff spot as they take on one of their Western Division adversaries, the Kansas City Comets. Prime Ticket will be live at the Forum, so make plans now to see the Lasers in action Wednesday.
There's an eye disease that affects nearly 500,000 Americans, retinitis pigmentosa, or RP. It starts with night blindness, then your side vision goes, and soon it's like looking through a tunnel. If you had RP, you'd see that skyhook like this, then total blindness, and you'd only be able to see the game this way. Help find a cure. Call RP International at 1-800-FIGHT-RP. That's 1-800-FIGHT-RP.
Monday night, April 25th, it's the $100,000 Michelin Challenge Final as two of professional tennis's greats come to the Forum for a lucrative showdown. The four-man round robin has come down to Stefan Edberg, the world's third-ranked player, and perennial crown favorite John McEnroe, looking to regain that old spark. Tickets are available now at the Forum box office and all Ticketmaster locations, or you can call the Forum at 213-419-3257 and tell them you want to see Edberg and McEnroe in the Michelin Challenge Final Monday night, April 25th.
First intermission here from the fabulous Forum. The Calgary Flames and the Los Angeles Kings are tied up at 1 goal apiece. Good intensity shown by the Kings and the Flames in the first half of that first period. Not a lot of good scoring chances for either team. We're tied at 1. Other games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Winnipeg Jets win their first game 6-4 over the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Oilers lead the series 2-1. In the Norris Division, Detroit wins again 6-3 at Toronto. The Red Wings lead that series 2-1. Chicago trying to win for the first time. 6-2 a lead in the third period against St. Louis. In the Adams Division, Montreal has defeated Hartford again 4-3 the final tonight. Canadians lead the series 3-0. Buffalo has won at home against Boston 6-2. The Bruins still lead the series 2-1. New Jersey with Sean Burke shuts out the Islanders 3-0. Devils are up 2-1. Philadelphia holds on. They beat Washington 4-3. Flyers lead the series 2-1. Kings captain Dave Taylor is now joining us for a few moments. Dave, obviously the Kings wanted to come out and have a better start in period number 1 tonight. Why did they have such a good start?
Well, I think, Nick, we had a lot of hustle out there. I think, you know, the fact that we're at home now helps a lot. The crowd was behind us, and they seemed to motivate us a little bit. But we realized we're down by a couple of games now, and the first 2 that we lost up in Calgary, we basically lost the games in the first period. We got into such a hole that we weren't able to get out of. So we wanted to come with a big effort tonight, and now at the end of 1, it's 1-1, and we're certainly in this game.
Not a lot of good scoring chances for either club, but I thought the Kings showed some good offensive flow.
Yeah, I think we were moving the puck very well. We were driving to the net, and I think that's a key for us. We have to continue to go to the net. I think if we get shots on Vernon and we go to the net for the rebounds, we're going to score some goals.
The preparation for tonight's game, what was stressed? Just coming out and working hard up front and trying to get that lead?
Well, there's a few basics that that we always stress, we have through the whole series. Number one, I think we want to come out and we want to bump all the time. We want to finish all the checks. I think that's the number one key for our team. After that, I think we want to stay away from bad penalties because they're so good on the power play. I think other than that, it's just a matter of hard work and some smart play out there. We don't want to give them any goals. I think if they get anything, we want them to earn it.
In years past, the Calgary Flames would dominate the Kings physically. Do you feel now, with the roster the Kings have, that they have neutralized that physical aspect of the Flames?
I think we have. You know, over the years, the Flames with the big forwards, guys like Hunter, Poplinski, Otto, they seem to dominate us. I think they used to get to the front of our net and be very hard to move for some of our defensemen. This year, we've made some changes. We've added some big guys on the wing ourselves, and we've added some size on defense so that now they can't be camping out in the front of the net like they used to and knocking in those rebound goals. I think, you know, maybe we have neutralized it, and the fact that we can get around their net now and hold our own, I think that's a good sign.
Dave, thanks for the chat, and keep plugging away in that second and third.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Dave Taylor, veteran right winger of the Los Angeles Kings. Well, from one great king to another. Butch Goring, this date in playoff history, April 9th, 1977. Butch got a hat trick to give the Kings a 4-2 win over the Atlanta Flames in the third and deciding game of the preliminary round. Butch Goring. We're between periods 1 and 2 from the Forum. This game is tied at 1. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Hi, I'm Chick Kern. You know I usually cheer for the world champion Lakers, but now I'm cheering for a new champ, Discount Tire Centers, now California's #1 Michelin dealer. You see, because we purchase more Michelins than any other independent dealer, you get guaranteed lowest prices and complete customer satisfaction. You'll never get a better deal anywhere, so hurry on down to Discount Tire Centers and cheer for the new champ. Right, girls?
Discount Tire Centers, all the way!
Yeah, Discount Tire Centers, now California's #1 Michelin dealer.
Some copiers don't adjust for exposure. Some don't adjust for odd size originals. Some give you copies after they run out of toner. But the Sharp business copiers automatically adjust for exposure, paper size, and turn off when they run out of toner. The Sharp Advanced Business Copiers. They won't turn your work into garbage. For more information, call 1-800-BE-SHARP.
Been coming in here long before any man came to these shores, but these mighty rocks stand fast, big and strong. Well, that's the kind of strength folks have been counting on for over 100 years with Great Western. You see, Great Western's built on a solid base of over $28 billion in assets and backed by the security of federal insurance. So if you want a bank that'll make your money grow safely, come to Great Western Bank. We'll be standing big and strong, no matter how the tides change.
Calgary Flames, Los Angeles Kings knotted at a goal apiece here in Game 3 of their Stanley Cup playoff series. You know, this is the 15th year that Bob Miller has called Kings hockey, and he has been recounting some of his memories throughout the playoffs. And in this report now, Bob brings us back to the Kings, perhaps their most galling defeat ever.
One of the playoffs I remember most in my 14 years with the Kings was 1975. What a great year it was for the Kings, the greatest year they ever had. It was the 74-75 season. Kings had 105 points, lost only 17 games all year, and they were going to play Toronto in the opening round of the playoffs. Now, Toronto had not had a very good season. They had 78 points, but the crucial factor here was that the playoffs in those years, the opening round was the best 2 out of 3. You had very little room for any mistakes. The playoffs opened at the Forum that year, and the game went into overtime. And the Kings won that game 3-2. Gene Carr came down the left wing, had a lot of room, but he had Mike Murphy on his right side, slid the puck over to Mike Murphy. He scores in overtime, and the Kings win 3-2. So now we go to Toronto. Second game of the series. Kings could wrap it up in Toronto on a Thursday night. But Toronto wins 3-2 in overtime. Blaine Stoughton scores the winning goal in overtime for the Maple Leafs. Now the big controversy came up, and I think what always bothered me is the fact that we had played 78 games, I believe it was, in that season, and then we had to play 2 games back-to-back in the playoffs. In other words, no day of travel. So we had to go from Toronto on Thursday night back to Los Angeles and play Friday night. Now, there's a little jockeying going on here. The Kings said, we're going to charter back right after the game. Then they decided, no, we won't. We'll go back the day of the game on a commercial flight. So then Harold Ballard decided, well, I'm going to charter my team to Los Angeles right after the Thursday night game. That's what he did. They got into Los Angeles about 3 in the morning, had a good night's sleep till 11 o'clock or 12 the next day. Meanwhile, the Kings got up early, flew the day of the game. Coach Bob Pulford said he regretted that because he said the age of some of the players the Kings had was very detrimental for them to travel the day of the game. They never recovered from that. We went into the final game needing a win against Toronto to advance in the playoffs. Gord McRae was the Toronto goaltender. This is in Los Angeles. All I can remember is that the Kings continually hit McRae with shots. It was like he didn't know where they were until it hit his pads, then it hit his arm, and he was making save after save. And I'll never forget my reaction with 10 seconds to go, Toronto winning 2-1, and I realized we're not going to win this game. We're going to have the greatest season in Kings history, and we're going to lose to a team that had only 78 points. In the last 10 seconds, I can still remember it down in front of me, in front of our broadcast booth. Here was Harold Ballard, the owner of the Leafs, King Clancy, his right-hand man, hugging each other, jumping up and down, hollering, we did it, we're going to advance in the playoffs. And finally the buzzer went off, and it was really devastating. And then not only to me, of course, but more so to the players, the coaches. I understand Bob Pulford could hardly face the press, couldn't face anybody after the game. He walked out the tunnel with his wife, tears in his eyes, realizing this was a great year and a great chance for the Kings to do something. And they lost it in that best 2 out of 3 playoffs. It was the most devastating loss, I think, to the organization, and I know to me personally, that I've experienced in my career with the Kings.
Just as an added point on that, to show you how great that season was for the Kings, 105 points equals what Calgary had this year. Well, in the National Hockey League season, we're going to see in the playoffs, we'll see a lot of milestones. The first one, though, was struck by Dennis Potvin on Wednesday night when he broke Henri Richard's record for the most appearances in playoff games. It was game number 181 in the great career of Dennis Potvin. Well, here at the Forum, sellout crowd won the Los Angeles Kings. The Calgary Flames tied up at 1 apiece. Period number 2 coming up next.
Hey, if you love sports and have a VCR, you won't want to miss the Video Connection. See all the top sports videos available with a special call-in service for quick, easy access to cassettes showcased on the Video Connection. I'll be your host, so join me right here on Prime Ticket.
Play by Pinckney. Now the ball to Humphries, over to Davis. Davis' 21-foot jumper. No, another fine rebound by Green. That gives him 5 in the game. The Magic, a 360 turn with the dribble. Magic down the middle. Gives underneath to Worthy. Slammed up. Back to Dumar. Good pass. He's down the middle. The ball stolen by Worthy. He gives the ball to Coop. Back to Worthy. He'll ride it all the way under. Lay it up and in. Power underneath. The ball slipped out of his hands. Hit the front of the rim. To Rambis. To Magic. Right side to Worthy. All the way. Score.
It's a look into the world of sports, a magazine show just for you, the sports fan. It's Sports Quest. Sports Quest will showcase a potpourri of happenings that only the sports world can produce. So check it out. It's Sports Quest. See it right here on the Prime Ticket Network.
Every day I'm trying harder. My goal is pleasing you.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold filtered one. Because if you want a beer whose real taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Both teams are back out on the ice. Kings forward Ron Duguay is with us tonight. Ron, Calgary got a shorthanded goal in that first period. They led the league with 23 shorthanded goals this year. Why are they so dangerous in that shorthanded situation?
Well, Calgary, like other teams like Edmonton, they not only do they send their best checkers out there, they send people that can score goals. So they're not just trying to kill the penalty off; they're looking to score goals. And with the D that they have good defensemen that can move the puck well. And those guys, once they get that puck, they know where their forwards are, and they're just firing it down the ice, and they're looking to score goals.
Ron Duguay commenting on the Calgary Flames shorthanded play. We're tied at 1. Shots just about even. Flames 10, the Kings with 11. Face-offs, 8 wins Calgary, 14 Los Angeles. Penalties in that first, all minors, 7 to Calgary, 6 to the Kings, and neither team has scored on the power play tonight. The Flames are 0 for 2, and the Kings 0 for 3. Al McGinnis for the Calgary Flames will be in the penalty box to start the second period. He went off along with Larry Playfair at 19:15, slashing minors. Second period action. We're tied at 1. Here's Bob.
And both teams at full strength as the puck comes into the Flame zone. They're moving right to left in this period. McCrimmon sends it off the boards down into the King zone. And back to get it is Dean Kennedy. Here's Kennedy's pass over to Wells. Wells passing ahead to Allison. He tips it into the Flame zone. Chased in by Gary Suter behind his own net. Allison spins him around. Allison and Suter can't gain control of it. Puck comes along the boards, and Suter now has it for Calgary. He flips it high in the air out to center ice. Dean Kennedy knocks it down. His pass to Fenton, broken up. Here's Neuendijk, left wing side. Neuendijk in deep, and Kennedy bumps him hard into the boards. To the left of the King net, Neuendijk and Kennedy still battle. Now Wells comes in. Wells had it on his stick, then it's taken away in front and rolls away from Mullen to Bourne, and Bourne flipped it up over the glass into the crowd.
Again, Joey Neuendijk going to the outside on defenseman of the Kings, this time Dean Kennedy. Speaking of defensemen, Brad McCrimmon, an outstanding first year with the Calgary Hockey Club, NHL plus-minus winner this year, a plus 48, played in all 80 games for the second time in his 9-year NHL career. Started out with Boston, moved on to Philadelphia, product of the Western Hockey League and the Brandon Wheat Kings. Brad McCrimmon.
Now the face-off in the King zone to the right of Glenn Healy, playing in only his second NHL playoff game. Score tied 1-1. Nichols and Neuendijk on the draw. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Duchesne behind the King net. Long pass up to center. Broken up and taken by Peplinski now. His pass on the left side, driven down in by Joel Otto, and now in the corner of the King zone. The puck is tipped away from Laidlaw by Sherla, but now it's cleared to center. Here's Nichols, 2-on-1 with Robitaille. Nichols left side. Nichols stops, shoots, saved by Vernon, and he covers up. Nichols had the 2-on-1 coming down the left side. He had Robitaille with him on the right, and then Bernie pulled up in the circle and he blasted one, but Vernon was right there.
Well, it was a good play by Bernie Nichols because Robitaille was being chased. When Bernie puts the brakes on, Robitaille is actually covered pretty well, and then Bernie, taking advantage of stopping up, took the shot. A good play, and Vernon, who I was impressed with his standing up in that second game, stood up well right there and made the save and covered up. He's also not given up a heck of a lot of rebounds. Mike Vernon.
And the faceoff will be to his right in the Calgary zone. Second period just underway here at the Forum with the game tied 1-1. Next game between these two teams here tomorrow night. And there are tickets available. Forum box office is open tomorrow and all Ticketmaster outlets. Puck comes to Jay Wells to the right point. He tried to hold it in. It bounced away to Ramage. Now to center ice. Poked away by Baumgartner, and he gives it to Craig Laughlin. Laughlin for the Kings. Into the Flame zone. Laughlin right side, still with it. He shoots. It's blocked as he drove it into Peplinski. Held in by Paul Gay. Gay's pass along the boards to Laughlin. Tipped away and back out to center ice. It slides into the King zone, and Baumgartner chases it down. Now Baumgartner passing up to Paul Gay at center. He slides it over to Wells. Penalty coming up against the Flames. Delayed call. Wells drives it into the Flame zone, and it's touched by Calgary, and a penalty now coming up against the Flames.
They're going to get Hunter for running Baumgartner. We're tied at 1. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Right now, the only thing that would taste better than a nice cold one is a cold filtered one.
Miller Genuine Draft. Hot, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want a beer whose real taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, we've got it down cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Tim Hunter, right winger, high sticking, 152. Side of your screen on our simulcast monitor. Baumgartner flips the puck out to center ice. He's chased by Hunter. Hunter rides him into the boards, got the stick up. Kings on the power play for the 4th time tonight. They have yet to score with a man advantage. We're tied at 1.
Face off about 15 feet inside the flame line, and it comes out to center ice where the Kings' Duchesne goes back to get it. Here's Steve Duchesne. He's on the blue line with Bernie Nichols at the point. Up front, the Kings have Robitaille, Taylor, and Carson. Carson's got the King goal tonight. Puck is in the right wing side, flame zone. Robitaille with it. He drives toward the back of the net, gives it to Taylor. Taylor's pass, left side to Nichols, up the middle, Duchesne. Right side, Carson. Left side, here's Nichols. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Kings can't get it. Who's got it? One of the Flames falling on it. And Taylor gets pushed, but what a save by Vernon there. Kings really moved it around well and had Nichols free for the shot.
Excellent scoring chance on the power play. I don't know. I lost sight of it as Nichols unloaded. He went up high. It may have hit the crossbar. Carson gives it to Nichols and moves into the middle. Bernie likes to go high, and he beats Vernon and hits the crossbar. Almost to the right of the post. Crossbar from 40 feet. Bernie Nichols, McCrimmon then falls on it, and we get the whistle. So Bernie Nichols with a great scoring chance. Bernie looking for his first playoff goal.
Yeah, he almost got it. Another fraction of an inch lower, it would have been in there. I thought at first that Vernon had made the save. There was a lot of traffic in front of him, but it did go off the crossbar. And that was some of the best movement on the power play the Kings have had. They really moved it from one side of the ice to the other. That got Bernie loose right in the top of the slot.
Bernie with 2 great chances here early in the period.
Now Colin Patterson gives it away. Carson shooting safe. Rebound. Taylor backhand wide to the left side. Rebound taken off the boards by Joel Otto. Can't get around Carson. Carson holds it in. Drives it behind the net. Rob Ramage slaps it out to center ice off the stick of Duchesne. Kings have 1:10 left to go here in this power play. Now what do we've got? Right in front of the King bench, Robitaille knocks down Otto, and Robitaille is going to get a penalty.
I'll tell you, Bob, it looked like the 2 players were looking away from each other and just collided, but the referee was right there, and he's going to call the interference on Luc Robitaille. So this nullifies the power play, obviously. The fans are upset, as are the Kings. A collision away from the puck, right in front of the Kings bench, and Robitaille goes to the box.
So the Kings had 1:07 to go with that man advantage, but Don Koharski has now put Robitaille in the penalty box, so both teams going to be shy a man, and we've had several 4-on-4 situations in this game. Luc Robitaille interference at 2:45. Robitaille and Otto bumped right in front of the King bench, and the penalty was called.
That's the 5th minor in this 3-game series so far to Luc Robitaille, who's looking for his first playoff goal. He's had 2 shots on goal in the first 2 games.
Flames with it. Here is Berezan, left side, cutting in, trying to get around Duchesne. Can't do it. Duchesne bumps him. The puck is back behind the King net. Duchesne kicks it up on the right side, and here comes Craig Laughlin. His pass to center to Carpenter. He's bumped, but it comes back to Laughlin. Laughlin can't get around Lube at center ice. Here's Håkan Lube for Calgary. Lube's pass, left side to McCrimmon. McCrimmon gives it to Berezan. Top of the left circle. His pass tipped against the boards, and he gets bumped there by Wells. Now Laughlin penalty coming up against the Flames. Delayed call. Here's Duchesne into the Flame zone. Left wing side. Duchesne shooting save. Rebound taken by the Kings. Laughlin with it. Up the middle to Wells. Wells in the blue line. To Laughlin in the slot. He shoots over the net. Off the glass. Right side. Taken by the Kings again. Right wing side. Duchesne gives it to Wells at the right point. Wells pass into Carson. This is all on a delayed call. Here's Duchesne shooting save. And the Flames have the rebound. and the penalty going to be called. Slashing against the Calgary Flames. 1-1 the score. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Now that the Chevy Cavalier has been thoroughly restyled, you might be wondering what Chevrolet could possibly do to make it any more attractive. Any more questions? When engineers gave the imported Chevy Spectrum a turbo, it really moved. But now that Chevy's given Spectrum Turbo a special cash-back offer, we expect it will move even better.
Perry Berezan gets his second slashing penalty since being cut in the mouth by Jay Wells in the first period. Wells had the puck on the near side. He bumps Berezan, and Berezan with a two-hander on the right knee, outside of the right knee of Wells, and he goes to the box. So it's a 4-on-3 skating situation for the Kings for 10 seconds. Then Hunter comes back, and it will be 4-on-4 for 53 seconds.
Faceoff will be in the Flame zone to the right of goaltender Mike Vernon. Game tied 1-1. Carson for the Kings. Colin Patterson on a short-handed goal for Calgary. Kings are down 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. Contos and Fenton up front for the Kings. Contos will take the draw. Nichols and Laidlaw back at the blue line. Joel Otto facing off for the Calgary Flames. 4-on-3 advantage for the Kings, and an important face-off, and the Flames win the draw, but McGinnis couldn't clear it. Now he gets it again. Fenton tips it away. McGinnis with it, can't clear it. Nichols holds it in. Over to Laidlaw. Laidlaw with it. Right side. Now it's 4-on-4. Nichols shooting high and off the glass again. Puck comes out to Laidlaw, the right point. His pass to Contos. Tipped away, but picked up by Fenton. He's hooked and pulled down. Penalty to Calgary. Paul Fenton got hooked. And another penalty to the Calgary Flames.
So the Kings will get a 4-on-3 skating situation again, but this time for a longer period of time, and eventually it'll be a two-man advantage, barring further penalties. Laughlin turning on the near boards, or rather Fenton, and Fenton was hooked. He had an angle on McGinnis, and McGinnis goes to the penalty box here at 4:04.
So the Kings trying to take the lead on the power play. It's 1-1, and we'll remind you this game is coming to you live from the fabulous Forum.
This portion of tonight's Kings hockey game is brought to you by Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by Avis, who invite you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day.
Kings have the power play, a 4-on-3 skating situation. Barring further penalties, it will eventually become a 5-on-3 for 58 seconds. But 4-on-3 right now with the game tied at 1.
Great chance here for the Kings. Nichols ready on the faceoff against Joel Otto. And Otto wins the draw. Robbie Patorek, the King coach, has not been happy with the Kings faceoffs in this game. It gets by Carson. Otto with it. Tried to jump around Nichols, and Nichols got a piece of him to knock him down. And now Nichols with it in the Kings zone. Up to center ice with a 4-on-3 skating advantage come the Kings. Here is Nichols into the Flame zone. Nichols stopped to the right point. Nichols still with it. He moves to the top of the slot. He moves to the left side. He has it. Left side, fakes, now gives it to Duchesne. Back to Nichols, left side, he shoots, score! Bernie Nichols from the left side drives it into the net. He waited, he faked. Then he gave it to Duchesne. Duchesne top of the slot back to Nichols. Again, he waited. Then he drove a low shot past Vernon. And the Kings lead 2-1.
Again, good puck movement. And Nichols goes down low along the ice, beating Vernon on the glove side. And Bernie does the pumpernickel on his knees. We haven't seen that one before. First playoff goal. Nichols has had chance after chance here in the early part of this second period. So the Kings with a power play goal, a 4-on-3 advantage goal. So the penalty to Berezan expires, and we're back to 4-on-4, but just for 7 seconds, and then the Kings go right back on the power play.
Nick, you didn't say that was the pumpernickel, did you?
No way.
2-1 in favor of the Kings. Here they come to center with a power play again. Here's Nichols with it. He comes across the line. Right side, still has it. Goes in deep. Drives toward the back of the net. Pushed by Suter. Robitaille in. He gives it to Carson up the middle. Taylor shoots. Save made. Rebound. Carson to Taylor. To Carson. Up the middle. Whistle. What do they got? One high sticking penalty going to be called.
I think they may have got Poplinski and Taylor. Taylor trying to get position right in front of goaltender Mike Vernon. 2-1 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Hey, we're blowing the whistle on high prices and high taxes. So all 75 Discount Tire Centers want to give you a tax break during our big spring sale. Just stop by, purchase any Michelin tire, priced as low as $31.95, or have a brake, shock, or front end alignment service, and we'll pay your sales tax. All this on top of our already low discount prices. Hey, you'll never get a better deal on Michelin's. So come to Discount Tire Centers for your tax break and see why we're California's largest Michelin dealer.
In the penalty box is Captain Dave Taylor. High sticking. Penalties at 5:07. Jim Poplinski, captain for the Flames, is off as well. Kings still have the power play for 35 seconds. This is their 6th power play.
Now the draw. Nichols shot deflects in the slot. Who's got it? Robitaille can't get a shot. His pass comes back on the right side to Carson. Carson, his pass right through the slot out to Nichols. Nichols at the blue line. His pass deflected by Joel Otto out to center ice. 20 seconds ago in the King power play. Kings have a 2-1 lead. Now a pass down the left side, chased in by Carson, but McInnes with it. He gave it away. Left point. Here's Nichols. Nichols for the Kings. Nichols still with it. His pass deflected by Colin Patterson, and he clears it. Bernie tried to steer it around the legs of Patterson over to the left wing, and Patterson knocked it down. Flames are back at full strength. Kings have never trailed in the game. They have their second lead. It's now 2-1. Here's Gay with a drive from center ice wide. Rebound Sykes in deep. Sykes goes behind the net. Comes around the left side. His pass taken away. Back come the Flames. Kings have 3 men back. 2 Flames come down. Here's Gary Roberts, right side. Roberts to Mullen. Sykes back checking, breaks it up. Kings come back. Here's Sykes up to center ice. Sykes drives it off the back of Paul Gay, and Mullen has it for the Flames. Now on the left side to Reinhart. Tipped away. Kings with it. Gay with Lachlan. Gay's pass. Lachlan shooting just wide to the left side. Greg Lachlan just shot it wide to the left. Penalty coming up. Penalty against the Kings. Puck driven into the Kings zone. Paul Gay with it. And a slashing penalty called against Los Angeles now with 13:34 to go. In the second period, Kings 2, Flames 1. In retaliation for being dumped in front of goaltender Vernon behind the play, Craig Lachlan a two-hander, and Lachlan goes to the box for slashing here at 6:26. So this second period, the way it started, it's been power play after power play. The Kings with 3 consecutive man advantages, and now the Flames with their first here in the middle period. Lachlan in the penalty box. Gay was setting up Lachlan, who took a shot. He just missed the low right corner. Stick side on Vernon. Then the play came out to center ice, and Lachlan takes a two-hander on Dana Merzen as play moves up ice. Calgary sends out Joe Nieuwendyk at center as Lachlan looks on from the penalty box. 2-1 in favor of the Kings on the goal by Bernie Nichols. A power play assisted by Duchesne. Power plays Calgary 0 for 3, and off the draw the puck comes down the left wing corner and dug out by Nieuwendyk. He had 31 power play goals on the year, but his pass taken away by Bob Bourne. Bourne to center with Nichols. Bourne to the red line. Bourne down the right side, still with it, driving against the boards right side. He hangs on her, then it's taken away. Brought to center by Reinhart to Lube. Here's Håkan Lube across the King line. Lube down the left side, offside, called against the Flames. 13:12 to go, second period. Kings lead at 2-1. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Monday night, crosstown rivals USC and UCLA meet on the court for a tennis showdown. Prime ticket will be on hand for Pac-10 tennis action Monday at 7:30.
Well, the second period in this series has been the Kings' best. 4 goals for, 4 goals against going into tonight's game. The Kings have the only goal here in the second period. Nichols from Duchesne. Power play with a 4-on-3 skating advantage. And now it's the Flames that are struggling offensively. Of course, the Kings have had 3 power plays. The Flames without a shot. And we played 6.5 minutes here in the second period.
And on the draw outside the King line, Joel Otto gives it to Suter. 1:33 to go on the King penalty. Here's Gary Suter with it. He drives it into the King zone. Kings ahead 2-1. Flames on the power play. Puck comes to the right point. Held in by McInnes. He's got a rocket shot from there. He has it again. He gives it to Suter. Suter the left side. Here's Suter giving it to McInnes. He shoots. Save made by Healy. Nice save, and he had Otto in front of him. Now the puck comes around the left side. Suter with it. Suter to the blue line. Here's Mullen. Right side. Fakes a shot. Goes in deep. Cut off by Sykes. Up the middle. McInnes shooting. Deflected into the corner by Fenton. Chased down by Suter. Suter bumped hard by Laidlaw. Puck comes loose. Laidlaw with it. Now in the corner, King zone. He gets checked there. Fenton in to help out. They can't clear it. Here's Suter to McInnes. Right side. 49 seconds to go on the power play. Up the middle to Suter. He shoots high and off the glass. Rebound to Mullen. Mullen's pass around the boards. Takes a good hop for the Kings, and it's cleared down into the Calgary zone as it's cleared by Baumgartner, who got a nice hop off the board.
Flames unable to get that puck down low or get a deflection. They're working the point men for those original shots.
Now Reinhardt across the King line, bumped by Nichols. Loose puck, Kings with it. It is not cleared by Duchesne. Held into the left point. Here's McCrimmon. His pass to McInnes, broken up by Bourne. They head to Nichols against McCrimmon. Nichols tried to pull it around. McCrimmon couldn't do it. 12 seconds to go on the King penalty to Laughlin. Kings up 2-1 second period. Here's McInnes driving it into the King zone. 5 seconds to go on the King penalty. Here's Reinhardt with it right side to the blue line. McInnes to McCrimmon. McCrimmon with it. Penalty's over. Here's Lube. Right side. McInnes fakes a shot. Moves in deep. Centers in front. Here's Lube. He shoots. Blocked in front and reaching out to grab it is Duchesne, and he's going to get a penalty.
Yeah, good call. That was very, very obvious. Duchesne blocked the shot and just reached out with his right glove, picked up the puck and gathered it in.
I think it's obvious a lot of times in the air, but they don't call it, but they did here. And we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Yes, Mrs. Ferber. I'll be right over. What's up? It's Alex. He's been burying things in Mrs. Ferber's garden again.
Right here.
Alex, a bottle of Stroh's.
Keep digging.
Nice, Alex. A 15-pack.
Keep digging.
With Stroh's and Stroh Light 15 and 30 packs, you get more beer.
How did he get a whole truck down there?
Why don't we ask the driver?
Steve Duchesne is in the penalty box. The penalty at 8:36. Your gloves are only to be used for holding onto the stick, not the puck. The shot comes through. It falls right in front of Duchesne. He reaches out and gathers it in. He's covering it up. An obvious call, and the Flames go right back on the power play. So the story of this second period, Robbie Fedoruk, I think, not real pleased with the call, but it was obvious. Flames, fourth power play. The Kings are 1 of 6 tonight. A lot of power play opportunities, and they were definitely a factor in that second game.
Kings are stuck on that 1 out of 6, Nick. They had the first 2 games, each game 1 out of 6 on the power play. Here's Nichols down the right side into the Flame zone. McCrimmon takes him hard into the boards. And behind the net, Joe Mullen, but it lost it to Bourne for a moment, but now the Flames come back. Here is Big Joel Otto down the right side. He gives it to Tonelli. Tonelli driving, can't get around Kennedy. Puck comes to the right point. Flames hold it in. Now the left side. Here is Mullen. Mullen drives it around to Otto. Otto in the right wing corner. Kings ahead 2-1. Flames on the power play. At the blue line, McCrimmon. McCrimmon left side to Mullen. Mullen in the circle to McCrimmon at the blue line. McCrimmon sends it right side. Now gets it back again. Gives it to Mullen. And he fanned on his shot. Tried to shoot off the pass. Kennedy had it behind the net, but his pass knocked away. Mullen went for it. Kennedy gets it again. Gets it to Nichols, and Bernie will clear it. Well, what stick work Bernie does. Isn't it something to see him with that puck? And now it comes to Neuendijk. Bernie, great hand-eye coordination, handling the stick of the puck. Gives it to Fenton, and Fenton's shot deflected up into the crowd.
Third night of action around the NHL in first round play, and let's bounce around the league one more time. A final: Winnipeg over Edmonton, 6-4. Jets pick up their first win. Detroit up 2-1 in games. They win at Toronto 6-3. Chicago over St. Louis 6-3, their first playoff win. Montreal up 3 games, nothing now. 4-3 win at Hartford. Buffalo wins a game, 6-2 at home against Boston. And in the Patrick division, Sean Burke and the Devils shut out the Islanders at home 3-0. Devils lead 2-1. Flyers go up 2-1 with a 4-3 win at home against the Capitals. Right here, the Kings 2 and the Flames 1.
And we got everybody getting into the act here tonight. A great game so far. Kings ahead 2-1. They led 1-0. Got tied 1-1. That was the score at the end of one. Now with 10:16 to go here in the second, the Kings have a 2-1 lead on Bernie Nichols' power play goal. Flames still have 45 seconds to go in the power play. Here they come to center ice. McInnes drives it into the Kings zone. He gets bumped by Fenton. Puck taken by the Kings. Here is Wells' pass, deflected up in the air, and Hogan Lube chases the bouncing puck and gets it back to McInnes. Here's another penalty to the Kings. They're going to be 2 men short. Slashing the call, and the Kings are going to be 2 men short for 30 seconds.
Well, they're calling it just like they did in the regular season, according to Hoyle. If it's in the rule book, they're calling it, whether it's early in the game, late in the game, whether or not there have been a bundle of penalties in the period. Fenton goes to the box for slashing. The penalty at 10:06. The puck was bounced out to center ice by Jay Wells, and they were fighting for possession. And Fenton chops at Hogan Lube's left ankle a couple of times, makes contact, it looked like twice, and he gets the penalty. So now a 2-man advantage for 30 seconds. It's the first time tonight either team has had a 2-man advantage.
We mentioned that the Kings simply could not allow the Flames to have a lot of power play opportunities, and they are doing that here tonight. And Nick, the King penalty killers really being called upon now for yeoman duty because they're not getting much of a break. They're able to shift or change a little bit on the fly, but 3 penalties in a row, and now the Kings down by 2 men for a full 30 seconds. Duchesne and Fenton in the penalty box. So Nichols, Laidlaw, and Wells are out. Nichols has been out quite a while. Off the draw, the puck comes into the Kings zone. Newendijk and Wells battle for it. It's taken down the right side by Otto to the blue line. Now Suter at the left point to McInnes. McInnes in front. Tried to give it to Lube. He didn't get it. Taken off the board by Suter. 2-1 Kings lead. Suter with it. Left side into Lube. Lube pass in front, and Newendijk couldn't jam it in. Comes out to the blue line. 7 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. Here's Lube again. Lube, he gives it to Suter. Suter, top of the slot. Waits. Still waits. Still waits. Shoots. Saved by Healy. Kings get 1 man back. Still a minute 25 to go in the power play. Up the middle, Suter shooting. Deflected by Otto, and it comes up out of play.
Last touch by Otto. Face off outside the attacking blue line. Again, the Kings, pretty good coverage down low, but the Flames have also mishandled the puck on a couple of occasions, trying to shoot off the pass. Usually, they're very good at doing that with the power play. Glenn Healy making some good saves. He was in nets for game number 2, and Healy has looked sharp again here tonight. Of the 5 goals he allowed the other night in Calgary, a couple of rebounds, a 2-on-1 rush, a deflection, and you really can't blame Healy for giving up a bad goal in the playoffs to this point. The goal he was beaten on tonight was a 2-on-1 rush, shorthanded by the Flames. 1:20 left on the penalty to Fenton.
Kings have changed their penalty killers now. They get Allison out with Bourne up front. Duchesne and Laidlaw back. Game 4 tomorrow night. We'll have it live here on Prime Ticket at 7:15 and on KLAC Radio with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7. So don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 10 to 7 on radio with your questions and comments on the playoffs. Now Suter for the Flames. Drives it hard around the boards to Tonelli in the King zone. Into the corner, Duchesne chases it down, gives it to Laidlaw. Laidlaw stopped by Tonelli. Tonelli sends it around the boards toward Mullen. Mullen against the boards on the left wing side, with the puck taken away and cleared by Allison. Allison was double teamed, and he still managed to clear it for the Kings. 52 seconds to go in the power play. Flames with it. Here's Mullen, left side. Wraps it hard around the boards. It comes out to McInnes at the right point. McInnes with it there. Tried to give it to Tonelli. He didn't get it. Comes into the Kings zone, and Otto bumps Duchesne. Then he knocks down Laidlaw. Flames with it. Pass in front and shot wide by Tonelli. At the left point, Suter holds it in. Suter to McInnes. 30 seconds to go on the power play for the Flames. To McInnes, top of the slot, right side, Tonelli shooting, and it's off the boards. They pulled that one successfully the other night in Calgary. This time Healy was ready for it, and the shot by Tonelli went wide.
Well, it's rather obvious the Flames just are not sharp in their shooting here on the power play tonight as their 5th power play winds down.
2-1 Kings lead. 8 minutes to go. Second period. At center ice, Nichols throws a check at Suter and broke his stick in two. Puck is in the Kings zone. Behind the net, Wells with it. His pass taken away. Right side to the blue line to McCrimmon. He shoots, blocked by Nichols. McCrimmon holds it in. And a hard check. Kings are back at full strength. Fenton took a hard check at McCrimmon and they both went flying. Puck comes out to center ice. Nichols throws a check at Reinhart. The crowd roaring. Flames with it. Here's Hokenlube. Right wing around Baumgartner. He shoots and a save by Healy. A glove save. Two to 1 Kings lead. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets. 100 years strong, we'll always be there. By Avis, who invites you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day. By Stroh's and Stroll Height. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by your Southern California Chevrolet Dealers Association, home of the $10,000 every 10 days test drive sweepstakes. No obligation, nothing to buy. To enter, just test drive any new Chevy at a participating dealer.
Hokenlube, who was outstanding in the first 2 games, goes wide on Kenny Baumgartner. Was losing shooting angle, but decided to let one go anyway from the base of the left circle. Glenn Healy with a glove save, and he holds on for the faceoff. So the Flames, full strength. The Kings are at full strength, but how long will it last? Each team with 3 power plays here in the second period. 7:31 left, and the Kings are up 2-1.
Face off to the left of Glenn Healy. It'll be Bourne against Lanny McDonald, 2 of the great veterans in the NHL. And off the draw, Lanny McDonald, right wing corner, King zone, drives behind the net, and Larry Playfair bumps him hard into the boards. Puck is taken by the Kings. Here's Kennedy. He drives it to center. Here's Paul Fenton. Poke checked away by Dana Merzen. Kings with it at center ice again. Playfair's pass, now sent by Allison off on the right side to Bourne. Bourne in front of the Flame bench, comes back into the King zone, passes back in deep to Kennedy. 7:05 to go, second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Kings ahead 2-1, trying to get their first win in this best-of-7 series. They're down 2 games to none. Flames send it behind the King net. Here is a long pass to center by Playfair to Fenton, tipped away from him by Reinhart. Lanny McDonald shoots it into the King zone. Kings have Playfair and Kennedy out. Puck is taken by Playfair on defense over to Bourne. Bourne bumped by Dana Merzen. Merzen and Bourne spin around. The puck is loose along the right wing boards, King zone, and whistled dead there.
Flames trying to get some of that momentum back and keep it. They had 3 consecutive power plays. They're starting to throw their weight around with consistency. Fans thought Roberts should have gone for roughing up Dean Kennedy as the 2 chased after the puck in the corner to the right of Glenn Healy. Dana Merzen throwing his weight around for the Flames. The Kings are up 2-1. The difference, second period, Nichols' goal on the power play from Duchesne. Dana Merzen coming over from Hartford right after the new year started for Kerry Wilson. And Dana Merzen gives them a lot of size and strength. He's not that mobile, but Dana Merzen is imposing.
This game tonight being carried on cable radio to fans up in San Jose, San Francisco, and Portland, Oregon. Nice to have all of you hockey fans with us tonight. Got a good game here at the Forum. 2-1, Kings lead. 6:36 to go in the second period. Ready on the draw to the left of Glenn Healy in the King zone. Carpenter against Berezan, and the puck controlled by the Kings. Baumgartner gets it to Duchesne. Duchesne's pass to Nichols comes out to center ice, right in front of the Flame bench. Taken away by Colin Patterson. Ahead now down the middle. Hokenlube all alone. He shoots, saved by Healy, and he covers up on the rebound. Stop on a breakaway by a 50-goal scorer, Hokenlube. And he went down low, and Healy made the save.
Biggest save of the night for Glenn Healy. He just stood there. He waited for Lube to make the first move. Lube was shooting down low. Flames did a good job to just get the puck in there on sides. They kind of bumped at the blue line, but Oakland Lube tried to go between the pads of Healy, who made the save and covered up with Berezan driving for a rebound. Good job by Baumgartner to keep Berezan away. So the best scoring chance by far for the Flames here in the second period, and Healy turns away Oakland Lube.
Now King trainer Peter Demers is out. Healy with an equipment problem. The Flames over to make sure it's a legitimate one. And the referee, Don Koharski, right there. The Flames, a week ago last night, were all upset because of all the equipment repairs that Healy needed. And Peter Demers brings Healy's helmet and cage face mask over to the bench for some repair. Remember that a week ago last night? All the fans up there all upset because Healy needed all these little rests, and he admitted later, he said, hey, I'll take any little break I can get when they've got the pressure on. And the referee was right there, and so was the linesman Ron Finn, to make sure that this is a legitimate problem with the equipment. Peter Demers hands it to Finn, says, okay, here, you got the skates on, you take it back to him. Glenn Healy in goal in only his second NHL playoff game. Signed as a free agent out of Western Michigan University in 1985.
Well, he tuned up for the playoffs by going 3-1 in his last 4 regular season starts. Melanson played game number 1, and Healy played game 2 and played well. And Robbie Fedoruk going right back with a guy he had in New Haven the last couple of years, Glenn Healy.
Ready on the draw to the right of Healy. And on the draw, Otto wins the face-off, and it comes out to center ice, chased down by Rob Ramage. He gets bumped at the blue line by Playfair. Now at center ice, here's Joel Otto. Otto down the right side, bumped by Wells, King zone. Puck picked up by Churla. He gets rocked. Puck comes to the blue line, and Ramage gets spun around, throws it into the corner. This will be a hand pass as it's touched by Tonelli, and a hand pass called against the Flames. There is some heavy hitting going on out there.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Kings just are not letting up, and Wells and Tonelli met in the corner to the left of Glenn Healy. Of course, Tonelli, a 10-year veteran in the NHL of these playoff wars. We mentioned earlier in this playoff series, he's been to the finals 6 times. Jay Wells earlier on the ship going up high with a stiff check on Joel Otto. Every time the situation has presented itself, guys like Wells, Kennedy, and Baumgartner are throwing their weight around.
You can tell they meant business tonight, Nick. A lot of them forgot their razors. They look mean out there, don't they? Dave Taylor didn't shave before the game. John Tonelli, he probably shaved at about 5 o'clock and has got a regrowth again now. Jimmy Carson, I don't know. Has he shaved yet?
Yeah. Even if he can, he can't because of his cut chin.
Puck comes into the King zone, picked up and sent to center by Kennedy on the right side. There's a penalty to McGinnis again. Oh, has he taken some bad penalties?
Exactly
a lot of them anyway.
Exactly right, Bob. A lot of bad penalties by the Calgary Flames. Nothing was being developed offensively for Carson. He was nowhere near the puck, and McGinnis goes to the penalty box, and the Kings go back on the power play. This will be their 7th man advantage. Carson just cruising into the zone. McGinnis grabs him on the right arm. Carson does a little acting, but why not? If they're calling it real close, they're going to call that one.
Face-off will be in the Calgary zone, and that's probably right. He may be tuning up for, although I don't think he's nominated for an Oscar. He won't get one Monday night. Face off in the Flame zone. The Kings have got to start clicking now in this power play. Nick, they've had chances in all the games, 1 of 6 in the first 2, and now tonight in a close game, this is the time to take control and score on that power play.
And they're 1 of 6 right now tonight. They are up by a goal, however, at 2-1. Carson directing traffic. Robitaille, Duchesne, Taylor, Nichols all out.
Now on the draw on the Flames zone. It comes to Nichols on the right point. Nichols pass down low on the right wing boards, gets it back to the right point, sends it over to Dave Taylor. Taylor's at the left point. His pass down the left side to Carson. Carson in the flame zone. Carson still with it. Top of the left circle. Comes back toward the blue line. Gives it to Taylor. Taylor waits. Back to Carson. Carson right side. Nichols. He shoots. Saved by Vernon in the glove, and he hangs on. He saw it all the way, and he made the stop in his glove. And another face-off in the flame zone.
Luc Robitaille, we mentioned, he's a key performer, obviously, for the Kings with 50-plus goals in the regular season, but he's been shut down in the goal-scoring department thus far in this series. Career high 111 points this season. Tied him for 5th in the NHL. Just 2 shots in the first 2 games. 5 points in 5 playoff games last year, his rookie season. Luc Robitaille.
We got Christopher Flanagan here tonight. Says hi to his buddy Dean Chow, a longtime Kings fan, and had tickets for tonight's game and got the flu. So sorry to hear that. He's missing an outstanding game, but I hope he's enjoying it at home. 2-1 Kings lead. 5:26 left to go here in the second period. Jimmy Carson will take the draw. Kings have 1 man back of the blue line. It's Duchesne. Nichols is up on the right side, and as they drop the puck, false face-off, and they'll do it again. The Kings, Nick, still are not winning the number of face-offs Robbie Ftorek would like them to win. He mentioned in game 1, you've got to win face-offs, otherwise you're chasing the puck all night against a very good team. Face-off to the left of the goaltender Vernon. Kings have 1:38 to go on the power play. Carson on the draw, and who's got it this time? Kings with it. Right point, here's Duchesne. Duchesne sends it over to the left side. Robitaille back to Duchesne. He shoots. Save. Rebound in front, and reaching out to cover it is the goaltender Vernon.
Again, Dave Taylor standing up in front. Carson was in front as well, but a nice job by Gary Suter to tie up Taylor. And after Vernon made that save, he was able to look for it in a maze of skates and pounce on it before Taylor could get free away from Gary Suter. Suter using his body well to keep Taylor from getting position and some leverage on a would-be shot, and then Vernon came diving out. 1:28 left on the McGinnis penalty.
Game 4 in the series tomorrow night. Again, we'll be live on Prime Ticket at 7:15 and on KLEC Radio at 10 minutes to 7 with our pregame talk show.
Al McGinnis in the penalty box. 5 minor penalties already tonight.
Well, the fans certainly come out in the different garb for the playoffs, don't they? Although he's been here quite a while on our simulcast for our radio audience. A gentleman with a blue and gold wig and a cape. Puck taken by the Kings. Duchesne with it. Out to the left side to Nichols. On the power play. Back to Duchesne. Back to Nichols. Holds it right on the line. Nichols sends it left side now. Robitaille's pass. In deep in the corner. Gets it back again. Left wing side. 1:13 to go in the power play. Now down in the corner. Comes back to Taylor. To Robitaille. To Nichols. Right side Duchesne. Duchesne. His pass just skipped over the stick of Colin Patterson. The Flames are coming out to pressure the Kings of the blue line. Here's Taylor to Robitaille. Score! Robitaille! His first goal of the series. The Flames came out to pressure the Kings up high and down in deep. Taylor got it to Robitaille, and Luke scores, and the Kings lead 3-1.
Dave Taylor to Robitaille, who shoots off the pass. The Kings finally got that good chance, and they beat Vernon cleanly. Stick side, short side, from about 30 feet. Taylor and Nichols will pick up the assist. So again, the power play has been a factor. It went Calgary's way in game 2. It's been a factor for the Kings as they have built a 3-1 lead now in the second period. Both King goals in the second on the power play. Nichols and now Robitaille with his first in postseason play.
Now the Flames back at full strength. trailing by their largest margin, and the puck is in the Flame zone. Here's Allison, left wing side. Allison in the corner. He gives it to Playfair. Playfair moves back along the boards, lost it to Hunter, but he can't clear it. Wells holds it in. Wells trying to get it to Allison. Allison bumped into the corner. The puck played by the Calgary Flames. Here's Randy McDonald. Penalty against the Kings again. Here's McDonald to center. He drives it across the King line over to Hunter. Hunter left side, moving in behind the net, rolled it out in front, tipped away. Flames still with it. Here's Gary Roberts, right side. He's ridden into the boards. Randy McDonald with it. McDonald runs head on into Wells, and they both go down, and the whistle blows. Oh, what a head-on collision. McDonald of the Flames and Jay Wells of the Kings, and the whistle blows, and we've got a delayed penalty now being called against the Kings.
Mike Allison away from the play. Larry Playfair is chasing Hunter all the way to the Flames bench. McDonald, I think, saw Wells at the last second, got his head up, or he could have really been clocked. As it was, he took a pretty hard hit, but he got right back up on his skates. And to the penalty box go the Flames again. 16:02 the time, high sticking. Allison, I think I said the Flames to the box. Allison of the Kings gets the penalty. Again, the play was coming up ice. Mike Allison was in deep doing some forechecking, and he and Merzen meet behind the net along the boards, and Allison got his stick up on Merzen as McDonald picked up the puck behind the net. So the Flames go on the power play. 3-1. The Kings are in front. The whole second period, Bob, it seems, has been played with either one team or the other having a man advantage.
And that's tough for the coaches, too. Flames 0 for 5 on the power play. The Kings 2 out of 7 in the game tonight. Remember, there are tickets available for tomorrow night's Game 4 of this series. The Forum box office opens tomorrow at 10 a.m., and you can get tickets at all Ticketmaster outlets. Don't miss it. Crowd here tonight, and those of you listening and watching, seeing a great effort by the Kings, down 2 games to none, and they now have a 3-1 lead over the #1 team in the NHL, the Calgary Flames. Kings with it. At center ice, here's Bernie Nichols. Comes back toward the King line. Passes down in deep to Laidlaw. Hops over his stick. He has to go behind the net to get it. Flames come in. Puck comes around the boards, left wing side, and the Calgary Flames will hold it in. Suter to left point, tipped away. Up the center. Kings with it. 2-on-2. Nichols shooting over the net. He had Bourne with him, but Suter got back to pick up Bourne. Back come the Flames. Here's Håkan Loob, right wing with Reinhardt. Loob moving behind the net. King zone. Around the left side. His pass along the boards to Suter. Suter up the middle. McInnes. He shoots wide. It came off the boards, hit the back of the net, and gets caught in the webbing. Oh, and Håkan Loob gets cleared out from in front. Håkan Loob got smacked by Playfair, and then who? Nichols came in and knocked, or was it
Duchesne
knocked him down? Duchesne knocked him down.
Duchesne, and Duchesne is going to get a penalty for roughing. So this could be interesting. If the Flames don't get one, the Flames might have a 2-man advantage. McInnes, and we've mentioned on the power play, the Flames are not sharp with their shooting. They get the puck back to the point. It goes off the dasher boards as he shoots wide. Duchesne pushes Loob once and then roughs him up, and Nichols comes across and makes sure that Loob goes down. And Nichols, not Duchesne, is going to get the penalty. So 16:48, it's charging on Nichols, which is correct. But Duchesne twice roughed up Håkan Loob, and now the Flames, Bob, with a great chance to get back into it. 1:14 they'll have to work on the 2-man advantage. Al McInnes had just shot wide. Duchesne roughs up Loob, and out of nowhere comes Nichols to really clean out Håkan Loob. Penalty at 16:48. Nichols charging.
Now the Flames with that 2-man advantage again. Earlier in this period, they had one for 30 seconds when Duchesne and Fenton were in the penalty box for the Kings. Now they have a 2-man advantage for 1:14 with Allison and Nichols in the penalty box. And Robbie Ftorek and Brian Maxwell talking to their players on the bench and the penalty killers who have been out a lot here in this period. And now there are only 3 of them on the ice. 1 forward, it's Bob Bourne. 2 defensemen, it's Laidlaw along with Duchesne. Face-off just outside the King line. Flames have Joel Otto on, Joey Mullins on, Reinhardt up front. Kings with it though. Cleared to center ice by Duchesne. Knocked down there. Flames with it. McInnes, he gives it over to Mullen. Mullen down the left side, trying to get around Duchesne. Pass behind the net to Otto. Over to Reinhardt on the right side, up to the right point to McInnes. Two-man advantage. McInnes in deep to Reinhardt. His pass blocked and cleared.
Reinhardt was trying to feed it across to the right side of Healy to Joey Mullen, but it never clicked.
44 seconds ago on the two-man advantage. Flames with it. Gary Suter down the middle. He shoots. It's blocked into the corner by Duchesne. Duchesne can't clear it. Suter at the left point. Suter moving in. Down the left side. Goes in deep. Passing into Mullen. Mullen bumped by Duchesne. Gets it back to Suter. Suter left side. 28 seconds ago on the two-man advantage. Into Mullen behind the net. It rolled away from him. Laidlaw had it, but taken away by Reinhardt. Reinhardt right side. Up the middle to McInnes. McInnes feeds it left side to Suter. Suter moving in. Fakes a shot. He drew Duchesne down. Now passes into Mullen. Mullen behind the net. Mullen into the corner. Duchesne with it. Can he clear it? No. Double teamed. Loose puck taken by Otto. Up the middle to Suter. Suter right side. McInnes. He shoots. Saved by Healy. And he hangs on. Healy had come way up the slot. And I was screened from seeing Healy for a moment. But he had this save as he stopped the shot by McInnes.
This time McInnes was on target. He unloaded quickly. Healy came charging out. McInnes going up high, and you could hear the save from up here. I don't know if Healy got that on the top of the shoulder pad or part of it with a mask, but he held on. A great save by Glenn Healy, who has been very, very sharp here in the second period.
15 saves so far. We have 2:01 to go in the second period. Kings 3, Flames 1. The Flames have 3 seconds left in the two-man advantage, and they still have 49 seconds left on the other King penalty, the one to Bernie Nichols. Now they face off to the left of Glenn Healy. Robbie Patoric motioning to Wells, who had skated back toward where the Kings come on and off the ice. And I think they found something down in the Flame zone down on the ice. Robbie Patoric standing up on the bench. His team ahead 3-1, 2:01 to go, second period.
You know, for all the power plays Calgary has had this period, they've had 5. They have only had 2 good chances on the power play.
Face off in the King zone. Important draw. If the Flames get it, they could get a shot while still on the two-man advantage. And off the draw, Flames with it. Lube now left side to Suter. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Rebound Tonelli. Up the middle. McInnes. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Rebound. Kings get one man back. Here is Carpenter. He can't clear it. Held in by Tonelli to Suter. Left side to Lube. Lube on the power play for the Flames for another 30 seconds. Suter shooting. Tip wide by Neuendijk.
Had 2 good chances on the power play.
Face off in the King zone. Important draw. If the Flames get it, they could get a shot while still on the two-man advantage. And off the draw, Flames with it. Lube now left side to Suter. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Rebound Tonelli. Up the middle, McInnes. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Rebound. Kings get one man back. Here is Carpenter. He can't clear it. Held in by Tonelli to Suter. Left side to Lube. Lube on the power play for the Flames for another 30 seconds. Suter shooting. Tip wide by Neuendijk. He just tipped it wide as Healy had made his move. Puck came wide to the right side. Now McInnes with it. His pass tipped away, but he gets it back again. Now sends it down in the corner. Broken up by Laidlaw. Cleared by the Kings. Bobby Carpenter drove it down into the Flame zone. 10 seconds to go in the penalty to Nichols. Flames come to center. Kings ahead 3-1. Here's Neuendijk throwing it into the right corner. King zone. Wells with it. He clears it to center. And the Kings are back at full strength. Out of the net to field the puck is Vernon. He sends it around the boards. Picked up now along the left wing side by McCrimmon. He's bumped by Taylor. 1 minute to go. Second period. Kings lead it 3-1. The crowd roaring their approval of the way the Kings have played here tonight. Here's Wells at center ice, and he drives it back into the Calgary zone. Right wing side, chasing it down and deep. It comes up the middle of the blue line. Kennedy couldn't get it. Comes to Lanny McDonald. He's got Tonelli with him and poked away by Kennedy. Taken by Lube. Lube right side around Wells, and then he couldn't get a good shot. Puck taken by Lube again. Over to McDonald, left wing side, up the middle. Ramage shooting, saved by Healy. Stick save as Ramage put it on the net. Kings with it again. Kennedy clears it to center. Here's Ramage for the Flames. Ramage shoots it back in, and another glove stop by Healy on a high rise poison shot. Puck is in the King zone again. Here's Gary Roberts for Calgary. Had it taken away by Condos. He can't clear it. Right side, flipped in deep, tipped away by Healy. Behind the net, Tim Hunter. He lost it. Kings don't clear it. Right point, Ramage shooting, save, swept away from in front by Wells, and that's the end of the second period. A furious rush by the Flames at the end of that second period, and Healy made saves, and now tempers flare a little bit down near the King net. The Flames managed to hold the puck in the King zone and just kept firing away. Rob Ramage fired with 4 seconds left in the period. Healy made the stop. He didn't know where the puck was, and Jay Wells swept it away from in front of the net as time ran out. And a standing ovation for the Kings in the second period. 2 goals, both by the Kings. Bernie Nichols, his first of the series from Duchesne on the power play at 4:38. And then Robitaille, his first of the series on the power play from Taylor and Nichols at 15:15. In just a couple of moments, Joe Mullen, an outstanding goal scorer for the Flames, will be talking with Nick Nixon. We're at the end of 2 periods. It's the Los Kings 3, the Calgary Flames 1. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Tomorrow night, it's Game 4 of the Smythe Division semifinals as the Los Angeles Kings and Calgary Flames keep their fury going on the ice. It's a prime ticket exclusive from the Forum as the Kings meet the Flames in Game 4 tomorrow.
A shower of great events rains on Prime Ticket in April as the Kings move into the NHL playoffs, hoping to make an impact in postseason play. John McEnroe and Stefan Edberg vie for the $100,000 prize in the Michelin Challenge Final. The Los Angeles Lasers try to keep their playoff hopes alive, while the San Diego Sockers continue to solidify their billing as frontrunners for another MISL championship. It all rains down in April here on Prime Ticket.
It's men's collegiate tennis here on Prime Ticket as crosstown rivals USC and UCLA duel it out at the Los Angeles Tennis Center on the campus of UCLA. These are 2 of the nation's best squads, so be ready for fierce competition as USC meets UCLA in tennis action Monday night. Monday night, April 25th, it's the $100,000 Michelin Challenge Final as 2 of professional tennis's greats come to the Forum for a lucrative showdown. The 4-man round robin has come down to Stefan Edberg, the world's 3rd-ranked player, and perennial crowd favorite John McEnroe, looking to regain that old spark. Tickets are available now at the Forum box office and all Ticketmaster locations, or you can call the Forum at 213-419-3257 and tell them you want to see Edberg and McEnroe in the Michelin Challenge Final Monday night, April 25th.
Hi, I'm Chick Kern. You know I usually cheer for the world champion Lakers, but now I'm cheering for a new champ, Discount Tire Centers, now California's #1 Michelin dealer. You see, because we purchase more Michelin than any other independent dealer, you get guaranteed lowest prices and complete customer satisfaction. You'll never get a better deal anywhere, so hurry on down to Discount Tire Centers and cheer for the new champ. Right, girls?
Discount Tire Centers, all the way!
Yeah, Discount Tire Centers, now California's #1 Michelin dealer.
Back here at the fabulous Forum, we're now in the second intermission, playoff game number 3. The Kings lead the Calgary Flames 3-1. And our guest is veteran right winger Joey Mullen of the Calgary Flames. And Joey, I guess when you talk about this game so far, you've got to talk about all the penalties and power plays, especially in that second period.
Yeah, that's been the biggest part of the game right now. LA's been very good on that power play, moving the puck around and getting the shots that they need. We've had a little trouble lately, and we're just going to have to try and correct that going into the third.
You have had 7 power play opportunities, 5 in that second period. Seems to me you're not sharp shooting off the pass and getting the shot on net. Would you agree with that?
Well, definitely. We're not shooting enough. We're not the passes. We seem to be fumbling all the time, and they're getting on us right away. So maybe that's the reason we're fumbling the puck a little bit more than we usually do.
From the Calgary perspective, what do you feel the Kings are doing much better tonight here in Game 3?
Well, they're definitely checking much closer tonight. There's no doubt about that. They've been on top of us pretty much the whole second period. I thought we played a pretty good first period, but it was pretty even as far as chances go in the first 2.
Now, your club on the road, excellent in the regular season, led the league in road wins. Why has your club been so successful on the road the last couple of years?
Well, I think we play a very patient game on the road. We try to let the other team put on the show and make a couple of mistakes and try to capitalize on them. Tonight we had a couple of good opportunities, but we didn't capitalize, and we're just going to have to still be patient and play our type of game.
Now you're down by 2 goals with 1 period left. What kind of adjustments does your team have to make, if any?
Well, I'm sure we're going to try to get on top of them a little bit more this period and forecheck a little bit better and hopefully stay out of the box.
All right, Joey, congratulations on another great regular season, and thanks for the chat.
Well, thanks, sir.
Joey Mullen, right winger with the Calgary Flames, has been our guest. Well, let's take a look at the final Rookie of the Month for the regular season in the NHL. It's Sean Burke, goaltender with the Devils. He had a shutout tonight, by the way, but in the final month in 11 games, get this, 10 wins and only 1 loss. He had a shutout and a great average of 3.05. Congratulations to Sean Burke. We're between periods 2 and 3. The Kings are up 3-1. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
No matter what kind of plans you have for your money, the government has some plans of its own. They're called taxes. Now, taxes may be inevitable, but the Wall Street Journal contends that they're also controllable. So the Journal keeps a close watch on the tax scene. Legislation, court rulings, new strategies, developments that might be important come April 15th. Then, in articles and regular columns, the Journal helps you use these developments to greatest advantage. So if you'd like to manage your taxes as intelligently as you manage your career, subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. After all, it's your money. At least for the time being.
Call 800-553-1400 for this great Journal subscription offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-553-1400 now for the Wall Street Journal.
I'll get it, Alex.
Mel's Market. Here's your order.
What order?
Side of beef.
I didn't order.
Here's your delivery, sir.
What delivery?
Your Stroh's 30 packs.
Stroh's. Alex?
Nah. Stroh's and Stroh Light. Fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. And with 30 packs, you get more beer.
Pardon? Pierre Shop. Here's your poodle. Oh.
Alex.
Every day I'm trying harder. My goal is pleasing you.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
It is the end of 2 periods of play here at the Forum, and the sellout crowd has been roaring all night. The Los Angeles Kings leading the Calgary Flames by a score of 3-1 at the end of 2 periods of play. Now, of course, throughout the entire season, we've been having our Ask a King questions, and it's time now to introduce to you our grand prize winner. He is Fritz Egger, who is standing here next to me, and we have this evening some executives from the corporations who are going to present him with his grand prize. We have, first of all, Jim Lindley, who works for American Airlines. In what capacity is that, Jim?
I'm the area sales manager for American here in Los Angeles.
Okay, and we also have with us tonight John Hamlin from Sheraton. In what capacity?
I work for the sales office in the regional Western Division.
Okay, and they have the grand prize envelopes, which they're going to be presenting here in just a moment, to our winner, who is Fritz Egger of West Covina. We want to give you a chance to see the question that Fritz Egger asked this year on our Ask a King contest. In fact, he asked his question of Dave Taylor, and there it is. He asked, "I've always admired your courage and determination on the ice. However, what impresses me most is your great strides in overcoming what I believe was a severe speech impediment. So to be an example to others, what steps did you take to do so?" Well, Fritz, first of all, congratulations on your win. You got the answer that night from Dave Taylor. That's kind of a sensitive question. How did you decide to ask something like that of a player?
Well, I've been following the Kings for a long time, and must have been 7 or 8 years ago I heard Dave interviewed, and he had a very difficult time answering Bob Miller's questions. A couple of years ago I heard him interviewed, and he had no problems at all. So I wanted to know what he did to improve his speech in such a manner.
Now, when we announced the grand prize winner, were you aware that we were going to announce it that night, and did you in fact see it?
Oh, absolutely. We were having a family Easter dinner, and I had to excuse myself a bit early because I had a little feeling that it was my night, and certainly it was.
Well, it was your night. There's no question about that. Now we're going to have a couple of days and a couple of nights for you at the Sheraton with compliments the airfare of American Airlines, and you're going to have a great time, I think, at the Sheraton in New York. And what have you got planned for New York? Have you thought about it yet?
Well, we've never been there before, my wife and I, so we're of course going to see the Statue of Liberty and some of the other main attractions, Broadway show.
Okay, well, that sounds great. We want to thank you very much for participating in the contest this year. We want to thank Jim and John for coming up here. They've got their prizes for you here this evening. I want to thank all of you for participating in the Ask a King question. We had a tremendous response all season long, so we certainly appreciate the fact that you all wrote in. Here at the Forum tonight as the Los Angeles Kings take on the Calgary Flames in Game 3 of the playoffs. We want to remind you of another date in playoff history, April 9th, 1963, when Dick Duff of the Toronto Maple Leafs had a night to remember. He set a playoff record for the fastest 2 goals from the start of a game. 1 minute and 8 seconds is all it took Dick Duff to score 2 goals. Toronto beat Detroit in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, 4-2. And here at the Forum, the Kings are on top, 3-1 at the end of 2 periods. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Tony Acone, president of Prime Ticket. April is National Cable Month, and we at Prime Ticket are proud to support this effort to help you and others become more familiar with the exclusive programming offered to you on cable television.
Kings come back to center. Possible 2-on-1. Robitaille left wing. He shoots. He scores! Chicago with again power play. Murray in front to Secord, and a great save by Melanson. Pass ahead to Eriksson. Eriksson and Robitaille. Eriksson shoots, safe. Robitaille scores!
Wednesday night, the Los Angeles Lasers look to keep moving towards a playoff spot as they take on one of their Western Division adversaries, the Kansas City Comets. Prime Ticket will be live at the Forum, so make plans now to see the Lasers in action Wednesday.
You know, when I was growing up, there weren't many choices in buying shoes. It was basically white or black sneakers. What are kids wearing now? Check out Foot Locker.
Kids have a lot of great choices I wish I had. New from Starter, team shoes. LA Dodgers, Phillies, your favorite team. Or from Converse, try the Connoisseur collection with your favorite dinosaur.
So from infants to kids, Foot Locker's got them all.
Every day I'm trying harder. My goal is pleasing you.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
End of 2 periods of play here in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Playoff Series between the Kings and the Flames. It's Los Angeles on top by a score of 3-1. It was tied 1-1 coming into the second period. Nichols threw it to Duchesne. He got it right back to Bernie. A slap shot, wound it up, kept it low, right past the goaltender Vernon, and that gave the Kings a 2-1 lead. We saw a little of the pumpernickel from Bernie at that point. He was a happy guy with his first goal of the playoffs. Now Bernie Nichols feeds it in low to Dave Taylor. With the score 2-1, Taylor set it up, and the guy he's going to set up is Luc Robitaille on this power play for the Kings. Robitaille drove it past Vernon. That made it 3-1 in favor of Los Angeles. Both of those goals, by the way, for the Kings tonight were power play goals in that second period. And therein, I think, lies one of the real keys to this hockey game tonight. The fact that the Kings on the specialty teams are not only holding their own, but really outplaying Calgary to this point. The Flames, as you know, came into this game as the best power play team in the National Hockey League. They had about 28.5% this year, 109 power play goals. In the first 2 games, they were awesome on the power play. They connected on 5 of 13 power play attempts. And so far tonight, they have been unable to score in the power play. They've had 6 power play opportunities, and twice tonight they have had 2-man opportunities, that last one for well over a minute, and they were unable to score on the Kings, who have done a magnificent job of killing penalties. Now, as we take a look now at this third period coming up, the Kings certainly are going to have to keep their intensity. They've played hard since the very opening drop of the puck tonight, so they played 40 good minutes. If they can turn it into 60, they might be able to get away with their first win at home in the playoffs in 6 years. Let's go back up now to the third period and Bob and Nick.
Both clubs making their way back out on the ice. The big guns have done it tonight for the Kings. Carson, Nichols, and Robitaille with goals.
Ron Duguay, Kings forward, with us tonight. Ron, we've been mentioning Calgary, a good power play team. They're 0 for 7. What are the King penalty killers doing especially well tonight?
Well, we're picking them up early. The key to any penalty killing is when the team is trying to come out of their own end. We try to anticipate and just make it difficult, because it all starts from behind the net, their defense. And if you can just break that up a little bit, it just throws their whole power play off. And the other thing, the guys they're not hesitating. They're working the box well deep in our end, and it just makes it difficult because you're forcing them to make the play, and sometimes it's just not there.
Ron Duguay commenting on the Kings penalty killing, which has been perfect tonight. Kings are up 3-1. They have been outshot 20-18. The face-offs just about even. 25 wins Flames, 24 Kings. All of the penalties tonight have been minors. 12 to Calgary, 13 minors to the Kings. And on the power play, the big difference, Kings are leading by 2 goals, and on the power play, the Flames are 0 for 7, and the Kings are 2 for 7. The Kings and the Calgary Flames meeting. This is game number 3. The Kings win. It's 2-1 for Calgary. Game 4 again here tomorrow night, and of course that would force a 5th game in Calgary on Tuesday. Mike Vernon has been the goaltender throughout this playoff series, as everybody expected. The native of Calgary played his midget and junior hockey in Calgary and has played his NHL career with the Flames. Mike Vernon sets up to our left, and Glenn Healy, who made some spectacular saves in that second period. The Flames moved the puck around. They had some shots. They weren't sharp with a lot of them, but guys like McGinnis and Lube had good scoring chances, but Healy turned them aside. 3-1 Kings. And here with the third period, Bob Miller.
Both teams are at full strength as we start the third. Bernie Nichols out for the faceoff. And on the draw with Nieuwendyk, Kings control it. Kings moving right to left here in this third period, leading 3-1. Here's Nichols. He gives it to Carpenter. Back to Nichols to the flame line. Poke checked away by Gary Suter. Here's Suter for Calgary. Down the right side, steps across the line. He gets pushed by Laidlaw. Kings break it up. It's cleared to center, but broken up there by Suter. He drives it back in, and the Flames are offside with 19:40 to go here in the third period.
Gary Suter, we talked about the impact he had on games 1 and 2 in Calgary. 3 assists in the opener, 4 points, including 3 more assists in game number 2. Tonight's attendance here at the Forum, a sellout, 16,005, and everybody hoping the Kings can win this playoff game. And it would be the Kings' first playoff victory at home since almost 6 years ago today.
Now down the middle, Nieuwendyk all alone in front. He shoots, saved by Healy. That's picked up by Mullen. Mullen behind the King net, comes around the left side, and he gets knocked down by Nichols, and the puck taken by Duchesne. That breakaway by Nieuwendyk occurred when the puck hit Duchesne, and Nieuwendyk coming the other way got it. Now in deep, Nichols. His pass in front, score! Carpenter! A big save on Nieuwendyk, and back come the Kings. Nichols driving for the net, and so was Carpenter. And Nichols got a shot that was tipped back, but Carpenter was right there to put it in. McCrimmon broke it up, but Nichols got it. His pass actually was knocked down by Suter, but McCrimmon couldn't find it, and Carpenter drove it off the left post into the net. It's 4-1 Kings. Now the puck back in the King zone, cleared to the blue line, picked up by Sykes, but knocked out of the air with a high stick. And a face-off coming up We have played 59 seconds. A penalty coming up also to Calgary. Churla gets the penalty.
Well, things are going right for the Kings here early in the third period. Healy stops Neuendijk on a break. The Kings come back and score, and now Churla to the penalty box. High sticking at 59 seconds. Kings on the power play for the 8th time tonight. So the penalties apparently are going to continue here in the third period. Opening seconds, Neuendijk behind everybody, moves in, dekes to his forehand. Healy makes a blocker save. It grazes off the outside of the right post, and the Kings turn it up ice and grab a 3-goal lead. Carpenter's first from Nichols and Robitaille at 46 seconds.
Now the Kings with a chance to even widen that lead on the power play. Here's Robitaille. Robitaille's pass to Taylor down the middle. His shot deflected. Taylor picks up his own rebound, gives it to Carson. Carson's pass tipped back to him, left wing side. Carson to Nichols. Nichols waits, top of the left circle. Now his pass deflected over to Carson. He let it go into Taylor. Taylor left wing side, playing zone. Taylor up the middle. Duchesne shoots. Save made. As the puck comes out of the right point, Duchesne holds it in again. He throws it high in the air, and we got a penalty coming up. No, it was a high stick that time, a high stick. I thought perhaps until somebody touched it that a penalty was going to be called. Puck comes down the right side to Taylor. Taylor sends it in deep in the flame zone. Taken by Carson. Back to Taylor. Taylor left wing corner. Taylor to Carson. Flame zone, the power play up the middle. Shot by Duchesne. Save. Rebound Robitaille. Robitaille right side with a minute to go in the power play. In it goes behind the net to Nichols. Nichols flame zone. Kings ahead 4-1. Nichols pass to Robitaille, right wing side. Robitaille to Nichols in the slot. His shot deflected. Nichols gets knocked down. Gets up. Holds the puck in. We got a whistle here. Cross-checking against the Flames, I believe.
And Roberts is upset with one of the Kings. Nichols, a great job to dive and try and keep that puck in as the penalty occurred. 4-1 Kings. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Okay, Alex will now do his famous dog impersonations. Grab a stroll light, relax. Ready, Alex? All right, who's this?
Rin Tin Tin.
That great.
Look at this. Look at this. Tramp, my 3 sons.
Right. Yeah. This is my favorite.
Benji.
Oh, I don't know how he does it.
It's amazing.
Stroh Light, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
No, here he comes. Here he comes. Who's that supposed to be?
Beats me.
Al McInnes gets his 6th minor tonight. He gets 2 for cross-checking right here at 2:07 early in the third period. The Kings are going to call a 30-second timeout, and the Kings are up with the momentum 4-1. The early goal in the third, Carpenter from Nichols and Robitaille. And Bob, the keys we mentioned earlier tonight are all happening for the Kings on a positive sign. The first, getting off to a good start. They showed a lot of intensity. They grabbed the lead. First time in the series they had a lead. The penalty killing was going to be a key. It's been perfect tonight. The Flames are 0 for 7 on the power play. And rediscovering Luc Robitaille. Well, Luc has been there tonight, creating plays, getting his first playoff goal. He's also added an assist. So things are falling into place for the Los Angeles Kings.
You know, Nick, the intensity that you mentioned has been there by every player in a King uniform tonight and by the sellout crowd. You think there aren't hockey fans in Los Angeles? They've been roaring since the national anthem, and it has really picked up this team, as Dave Taylor said in the first period. Now the right side, Nichols with a flame zone to Duchesne. 2-man advantage into Carson. Pass in front. A no-look pass, but Colin Patterson of Calgary got his stick on it, and he clears it back down into the Kings zone. Kings have a 2-man advantage for 33 more seconds. It was a 52-second 2-man advantage when it started. 4-1 Kings, third period. Here's Nichols into the flame zone. Nichols goes to the left side. He's got Robitaille and Carson with him. Nichols gives it up the middle to the blue line to Duchesne. Now to Taylor, right side. Now to Duchesne. He waits, still waits. Now moves to the left side, gives it to Taylor, right side. Taylor's pass in deep. Shoveled at by Carson, but he gets knocked down. And the puck driven around the boards and out. And the 2-man advantage is going to be over here in 2 seconds. Flames get 1 man back. It's Shane Churla. Now it's a one-man advantage for the Kings. Here's Nichols across the blue line into the flame zone. Nichols gets bumped and knocked down along the boards by McCrimmon. Puck comes to Fenton. Paul Fenton, left side, flame zone. Fenton with it with 55 seconds to go with his man advantage. Fenton gives it to Nichols at the blue line. Back to Fenton, left wing. Fenton shoots just wide, and the rebound off the boards back into the Kings zone. Healy stops it for Duchesne. 40 seconds to go in the King power play. Up to center, here's Chris Contos. Contos puts it in the flame zone. Taken by Fenton. Fenton right side. Fenton passes off the boards to the blue line to Carpenter. Carpenter with it. Back on the right side now. Kings still have it in the flame zone. Now Carpenter. His shot. Save. Rebound. Fenton couldn't get the bouncing puck. McCrimmon with it for the Flames. He clears it to center. Look out for them shorthanded. Here's Berezan right side. Berezan shooting and a save by Healy. Not a hard shot. Puck taken by the Flames. McCrimmon. His pass taken away by Laidlaw. 8 seconds to go in the King power play. Up to center ice. Here's Sykes with Contos. Sykes gives it to Contos for the Kings. He drives it off the boards. Couldn't get to it. Taken away by Ramage. And the Flames have killed both penalties and they're back at full strength. Puck driven the length of the ice into the King zone. 15:45 to go, third period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Kings up 4-1. Here's Gay driving it down into the flame zone. Taken by Dana Merzen. Merzen gets bumped. It's held in by Wells. Taken in the flame zone by Reinhardt now behind his own net. Reinhardt comes around the right side. His pass up to Lanny McDonald. He gets stopped by Wells. Puck taken at center ice by Lachlan for the Kings. To Kennedy. Kennedy throws it off the boards to Sykes. Sykes played it ahead to Gay. Gay on the right wing. Spins away from Merzen. Gay got knocked down. Puck comes up the middle. Tipped past Wells out to center ice by Tim Hunter. Chased down by the Kings in their own zone. Here's Kennedy. He gives it to Wells. Here's Wells on the left side trying to give it to Contos. He didn't get it. Puck comes into the flame zone. 15 minutes to go here in the third period. Puck comes out to center ice and back into the King zone where Baumgartner will go back to get it. Tickets available for tomorrow night's Game 4 at the Forum box office, open at 10 a.m. tomorrow on all Ticketmaster outlets. Don't miss it. The crowd here tonight has seen a beauty. Flames tip it back down into the King zone, chased in by Laidlaw to Contos. Contos bumped by McCrimmon and a shot from the right side by Neuendijk is wide. Rebound out to center ice. 14.5 minutes to go, third period. Kings up 4-1. King goals. Carson, Nichols, Robitaille, Carpenter, Flames with it. Mullen shooting and a save. Rebound swept away by Laidlaw. Taken by Carson. Here's Carson bumped by Mullen. The puck comes to Carpenter, right wing side, flame zone. Carpenter driving behind the net. He gets pulled down into the back of the net. No penalty. The net gets dislodged. Now Neuendijk upset with Robitaille. Playfair trying to get in there.
That obviously was behind the action as Carpenter picked up that loose puck in the Calgary zone on the right boards. Everybody pairing off now. Flames obviously a little frustrated at this point. 4-1. The Kings are in front as they look for their first playoff victory. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know, when you're on the road, you need to pay attention to the signs. But if you're a new car shopper, these are the signs it pays to look for. Because the Southern California Chevrolet Dealer Association's $10,000 every 10-day sweepstakes could be your ticket to winning $10,000. Now, there's a winner every 10 days. To enter, you just see your participating dealer and you test drive any new Chevy, car, truck, or van. Now, there's no obligation and there's nothing to buy. So look for these signs where you see this sign.
In the third period, Kings lead at 4-1. Let's pause right now for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
If you're a sports fan with a VCR, don't miss the Video Connection. See and order top sports videos by phone. That's the Video Connection tonight at 11 on Prime Ticket.
Penalties as the penalty box fills up. Robitaille and Neuendijk are getting 2 for roughing. Duchesne is in the penalty box for the Kings, and he and McCrimmon are going to get 10-minute misconducts. McCrimmon forcing Carpenter to crash into the back of the net, and then as he fell on top of Carpenter, he kind of roughed him up, and I think that's what angered a couple of the Kings, particularly Steve Duchesne, who started bumping with McCrimmon once everybody got back up on their skates. So Duchesne and McCrimmon, 2 defensemen, are gone for 10 minutes and a whistle. We only have 14:09 left here in the game. Neuendijk and Robitaille get minors for roughing.
Now playing away. The puck is back behind the Flame net. They're moving from our left to our right here in the third period. Kings ahead 4-1. Bobby Carpenter tips it away, but he's taken out of the play by Al McInnes. Now here's Håkan Lube. Lube for the Flames. Gets it to Rob Ramage on the right side. He drives it to the King line, trying to get it to Berezan, offside. Called against the Flames.
Well, Perry Berezan has stopped bleeding, at least for the moment. He got high stick in the first period as he collided with Jay Wells. He was looking for a penalty. There was none called by referee Don Koharski or the linesman. And then Berezan since then has taken a couple of slashing penalties, one of them on Jay Wells. He's playing a lot with the injury to Mike Bullard. I talked with a couple of Calgary officials before the game and asked them about Bullard. They said he could have played had they wanted him to, but apparently up 2-0. They wanted to give him at least one more game to rest his Charlie horses.
Now in front of the King bench, it's taken by Jay Wells. Wells pass broken up by Ramage at center. He gets it to Joel Otto. Otto for the Flames. His pass taken away by Bob Bourne. Back checking, and he clears it to center.
We've talked so much about the penalty killing by the Kings, but at even strength for the second straight game, the Kings have really shut down the Flames offense.
Now in front of the King bench, Peplinski drives it into the King zone. Dean Kennedy over to get it on the right side. Kennedy gives it to Bourne. Boy, he's been hopping ever since that opening faceoff, hasn't he? The veterans have come through tonight, as well as the youngsters for the Kings, and it's led to a 4-1 Kings lead here in the third period. Here's Wells holding it in at the blue line in the Flame zone. Puck comes against the left wing side, tipped away and out to center ice. Wells gets it, moves it to Kennedy. Kennedy slaps it back into the Calgary zone. 12:58 to go, third period. Puck taken by the Flames. McInnes leads it up to Peplinski. His pass knocked down. Now sent to the King line. Here's Wells with it. Wells passing ahead to Taylor. Taylor drives it down the left side, back behind the Flame net. Flames start to come back out again. Lanny McDonald to Colin Patterson, taken away by Taylor from behind, and he holds it in. Now Contro's driving in. Flames clear it up the left side to John Tonelli. They come to center 4-on-3. Tonelli across the line to the trailer. A shot scored by Dana Murzin. Well, he had a 4-on-3 rush, and the trailer was Dana Murzin. And the big defenseman didn't miss. He put a long shot past Healy, and it's now the Kings 4, the Flames 2.
Tonelli rambles down the left side. The fourth Flame jumping up into the play is Murzin. A perfect shot over the glove hand of Healy. Dana Murzin not noted for his offensive prowess, but what a beautiful shot from about 40 feet dead on, beating Healy cleanly. His first playoff goal. It comes at 7:31.
Now the Kings with it. Paul Gay, right wing side. He's leaned on by Reinhardt, and Lachlan tried to send it in front, tipped away by the goaltender Vernon. He reaches down and hangs on, and now Peplinski had Lachlan collared from behind, and Craig Lachlan gets a little upset. Kings lead at 4-2 with 12:17 to go in the third period. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Get tight.
We gon' party.
With the right side of the law.
Do you know why I love you? Stop the car! You don't live the way other people live.
One man.
You just made number 4 on the most wanted list.
One rule.
I want to be number 1.
Meet Nico. He's a cop with an attitude. Above the law. Rated R. Now playing.
Kings up 4-2. The Flames getting their second goal at 7:31. Murzin's first from Tonelli and McInnes.
Now the draw in the Flame zone comes over to Joe Mullen. Mullen sends it up to center ice. Kings break it up there. Laidlaw moves it over the right side to Craig Lachlan. Lachlan drives it back behind the Flame net. Taken there by Dana Murzin. Murzin waits there. Passing off the boards up to center ice to Mullen. Here's Mullen. Gives it on the right wing now. Here's Peplinski for the Flames. Back on the right side to Otto, and his shot went wide. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Craig Lachlan to center. 3-on-2. He's got Carpenter and Nichols. He gives it to Carpenter. Poke checked away nicely by Murzin.
Too many men. Calgary Flames. You can hear Pat DiPuzzo, the linesman, yelling that out. He was right between the two benches. A line change for the Flames, and they got caught. And the Kings will go on the power play.
11:47 to go in the third period. And the Flames with a bench minor for too many men on the ice, and Terry Crisp can just shake his head. He doesn't believe what he's seeing here tonight.
Yeah, he's got to really be frustrated, especially when you consider all the power plays the Flames have had. And they really haven't been sharp. Shooting off the pass, getting shots from the point. McGinnis has shot wide on a number of occasions. Suter hasn't had the number of shots that we're accustomed to seeing from him on the left point. But again, you've got to give credit to the Kings penalty killers. They're aggressive. Tom Laidlaw has killed a lot of penalties. Bob Bourne up front with Bernie Nichols. Joey Mullen will serve the minor. The penalty at 8:13, a bench minor, too many men. And this is the 10th power play tonight for the Kings. They are 2 of their first 9. You give up 10 power plays to the other team, Bob, in the playoffs, and I tell you, you're not going to get much momentum throughout the course of the game.
Well, a great chance for the Kings now to get back the goal by Merson that made it 4-2. Kings are up by 2 with 11:47 to go in the third. Flames with it back in their own zone, and Suter misfired on a pass. Kings with a Carson shooting save, and covering up is Vernon. Suter went to pass and he didn't get his stick on it, and the Kings almost turned it into a goal, but Vernon makes the stop on Jimmy Carson.
Jimmy Carson has been consistent in the way of creating chances and getting chances himself. He's got 3 goals, 1 in each game. He fought off a check, whipped one down low, but Vernon stood up and made the save.
Face off in the Kings zone to the left of Vernon. Kings have 1:51 to go on this power play. Kings have Bernie Nichols out, Jimmy Carson, Dave Taylor, Luc Robitaille, and Jay Wells. Joel Otto on the draw, but Carson wins the draw to Wells at the right point. Wells, he gives it to Nichols. Nichols to the blue line, almost lost it, but held it right on the line to Robitaille. Robitaille sends it to Carson, now to Robitaille. Robitaille at the right point. He has room. He moves in. He shoots, and it's tipped wide. Rebound off the boards taken by Wells to the left point. Here's Wells, flame zone. Wells sends it down into Carson. His pass in front broken up and cleared out to center ice by Rob Ramage. 1:23 left to go here in the power play for the Kings. Here's Nichols to the line, can't bring it across. Robitaille with it. Kings have to get back on side. Robitaille gives it back to Laidlaw in the Kings zone. Terry Berezan chases him in. Now it comes to Robitaille. Here's Luke at center. His pass to Carson, right wing. Flame zone to Nichols. Nichols goes into the corner, right wing side now. Up the middle to Robitaille. Luke with it. Sweeps it down in deep left side. Fenton in the corner. He gets bumped there. Puck is dug out by Carson. Carson to Robitaille. Flame zone. Left wing boards. Robitaille still with it. Robitaille into Carson. It bounced away from him. Fenton with it. He's bumped from behind, and the Flames are going to bring it out. Pass up to center. 2-on-2. Here's Berezan for Calgary. Berezan tried to pull it around Laidlaw. Couldn't do it. Laidlaw stayed right with it. 37 seconds to go in the King power play. Pass up to the red line to Robitaille. He gets bumped, but he gets around Merson, then gets knocked down. Robitaille with it to Fenton. He shoots high over the net. Puck taken behind the net now by the Flames. Sent around by Gary Roberts. And against the left wing boards, Robitaille tries to dig it out in the Flame zone. It comes loose, and Reinhardt will bring it to center for the Flames. He's got Roberts with him. Now Nieuwendyk with it. Now on the left side, here's Merson. Offside of the King blue line. Looked like Nieuwendyk was going to get it. He had jumped down, but he let it go over to Dana Merson, and the Flames offside. But
well, Joe Nieuwendyk has been held in check for the most part here in this third game. He's got 1 playoff goal. Of course, he led all rookies in the regular season with 51, 2 shy of Mike Bossy's rookie record of 53. He admitted at the end of the season he felt the pressure in catching Bossy. He was shut out in his final 8 games. Right here, the Kings have not been shut out. They're up 4-2 with 9:57 left in the third period. Again, Carson, Nichols, Robitaille, and Carpenter, the goal scorers. The Kings look to get right back in this series. They hold on and win tonight. They're down 2-1 with the 4th game tomorrow night right back here at 7:30.
And there are tickets available for that game 4. Again, the Forum box office open at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and you can get tickets at all Ticketmaster outlets. Puck driven down in deep. Flames. Vernon sends it around the boards. Here's Nieuwendyk for Calgary. Cleared it up to center to Mullen. Mullen gives it back now and across the line. Left side, Nieuwendyk driving on Kennedy. Kennedy takes him out of the play. Laughlin picks it up for the Kings. Laughlin's pass high in the air. Bounces all the way down in the Flame zone. This is going to be icing against the Kings. Merson back to get it. Oh, look out now. Merson gets bumped and everybody piles in. That Phil Sykes came in right just after the whistle and bumped Dana Merson, and now everybody piling up along the boards. 9:27 to go. Third period. The Kings have a 4-2 lead.
Well, part of the winning formula so far for the Kings has been their intensity, their physical play. Can they do it tomorrow night? Well, I'm sure it will be stressed. I'm sure they'll try and do it tomorrow night as they go to even up this series then. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
For a lot of years, Great Westerns helped folks find the promise of the West. Today, their new brand of banking takes care of checking, savings, loans, insurance, retirement plans, real estate, even stock brokerage. And with over $28 billion in assets, Great Western will be there to help. They've been helping the West grow since it was just a patch of desert.
Kings are up 4-2. They have never trailed tonight. They had their first playoff lead early in the first at 1-0 when Carson scored. Flames did tie it at 1. That's how the first period ended. Nichols and Robitaille scoring in the second to make it 3-1. And Carpenter and Merzen trading goals here in the third. Lanny McDonald, everybody in Calgary thinks that he has his second win. 15 years in the NHL, playing some center ice in the playoffs. Had a big goal in game number 1. And he's played regularly here tonight.
And he gets ready for the face-off to the left of Glenn Healy. Lanny McDonald with his team down 4-2. They're up 2-0 though in this series. And on the draw with Bob Bourne, the puck comes into the corner, controlled by Lanny McDonald in front, just couldn't get to it. Colin Patterson with a King's zone. The blue line Suter shot. He partially fanned. Playfair clears in the center. Taken by Suter for the Flames. He gives it around Ramage. Ramage's pass. Colin Patterson dives it off maybe Lanny McDonald up into the crowd. 9:08 to go, third period. And a souvenir worth $1.50.
Well, physically on the back line, the Kings to a man have done a great job. Veteran Jay Wells, who missed 18 of the final 20 regular season games with a groin injury, has come back, and certainly tonight he was on top of his game. Physical, every opportunity, and all the defensemen played physical tonight. Baumgartner, Kennedy, Duchesne, I haven't seen him throw this many checks in one game in a long while. Big reason why the Kings are up 4-2. They have done a great job at shutting down the league's #1 offense, particularly at even strength for the second straight game.
Now up to center ice. Here come the Calgary Flames. Lanny McDonald drives it into the King zone. Hooked behind the net by Healy. It comes around in the corner. Laidlaw battles with Tonelli. Laidlaw has it and sends it around the boards, but Ramage will try and hold it in. He gets bumped. Now McDonald with it. He gets knocked down from behind by Baumgartner. Puck taken by the Flames. McDonald to the blue line. Shooting stick save by Healy. Puck comes down the right side, and Taylor clears it to center.
Again, the Kings hitting whenever they get the opportunity on the near side. We saw Kenny Baumgartner, Jimmy Carson, and Chris Kontos get involved again.
Now it's cleared to center, but broken up by Laidlaw for the Kings. He gives it now to Robitaille. Here's Robitaille, and he gets knocked down as the puck comes to center ice, right to Jay Wells. Wells of the Kings drives it back behind the Flame net. Taken there by Lanny McDonald with 8:10 to go. Third period. Kings ahead 4-2. McDonald waits in his own zone with Carpenter standing right in front of the net. Now it comes up to Peplinski. Peplinski for the Flames. His pass to Mullen, right wing. Dropped it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt drives it wide. Rebound behind the net. Mullen goes for it. He's pressed by Wells. Here's a penalty to Calgary. I think they're going to... Now let's see. Who are they going to get here? Peplinski?
Hard to tell. Kings had the puck, and the whistle blew immediately, so possibly Wells will get it. He was double-teamed. He cranked Mullen pretty good. Then Peplinski came in, and I don't know, Jay may have got his stick or elbow up if he saw Peplinski at the last second. And again, they all mill around and discuss things to the right, this time of goaltender Glenn Healy. Jim Peplinski, good size, good leader for the Calgary Flames. 4-2 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Hey, we're blowing the whistle on high prices and high taxes. So all 75 Discount Tire Centers want to give you a tax break during our big spring sale. Just stop by, purchase any Michelin tire, priced as low as $31.95, or have a brake, shock, or front end alignment service, and we'll pay your sales tax. All this on top of our already low discount prices. Hey, you'll never get a better deal on Michelin's. So come to Discount Tire Centers for your tax break and see why we're California's largest Michelin dealer.
Well, they got Jim Poplinski for hitting Jay Wells after Wells took care of Joey Mullen. The action behind the net. Healy leaves the puck. Mullen got there. He's checked by Wells, and then Poplinski will come in from the left side, get the stick up on the side of Jay Wells' helmet, and Poplinski gets the penalty. The Kings in the power play now get this for the 11th time tonight. Unbelievable in a playoff game. Kings are up 4-2, half their goals with a man advantage tonight. Kings with both power play goals tonight. They have shut down the Calgary Flames. The power play goals to Nichols and Robitaille.
And off the draw, the puck driven down deep in the King zone. Played by Healy. Behind the net, Kings start back out, moving right to left. Here's Laidlaw coming up to center ice now. He gives it over to Nichols. Nichols to the red line. His pass across the line. Carson throws it to Robitaille. Left wing in the front to Taylor. He shoots high over the net. Taylor tried to go up high, and he got it too high. Now the left point. Here's Nichols. He gives it to Robitaille. Flame zone. Robitaille still with it to Nichols. Nichols shooting. Save. Rebound just out of the reach of Jimmy Carson and picked up by Gary Roberts. Roberts the center for the Flames. He gives it to Nichols. Nichols got knocked down by Berezan. Nichols with it ahead now to Taylor, but he rolled it over on the right side trying to get it to Carson. It's broken up by Rob Ramage. Ramage sends it down to the King zone. Laidlaw with it. Kings on the power play for another minute 10. 7 minutes to go. Third period. Kings 4, Flames 2. Puck taken by the Kings at center ice. Here's Jimmy Carson. Another penalty to Calgary. Kings are going to have a two-man advantage. They throw the puck in the Flame zone. A two-man advantage for the third. Well, let's see. Kings 2 times. Calgary had two-man advantages.
Kings with another opportunity to click on the power play, slashing the call right here. It was along the near boards. Paul Fenton had the puck. He was trying to make a centering pass. And let's see who's going to go off. Nobody's making his way over. Berezan puts his palms up, and he's going to go, it looks like. Perry Berezan. So he goes for the third time tonight. So the Kings with a two-man advantage now for 59 seconds. They had one for 52 seconds earlier this period. So a lot of power plays for both the Kings and the Flames. Bernie Nichols gets slashed by Berezan in the midsection, and I tell you, Don Koharski, the referee, is calling anything that's close tonight on both sides.
Calgary had two-man advantages in the second period, one for 30 seconds, one for a minute 14. Now the Kings with their second two-man advantage here in the third, and if they can take advantage of it, it'll give them some breathing room going down the stretch. Here's Robitaille in the Flame zone to Laidlaw, left point to Nichols. Nichols with a two-man advantage, 5-on-3. Pass in to Carson in front of Taylor. He can't jam it in. Save made by Vernon, and Taylor gets bumped hard by Joel Otto in front of the net. But Vernon came up with a glove save in close, and he hands the puck to the linesman Ron Finn. 6:40 to go, third period. 4-2 Kings. Bernie Nichols had it to the point, and he sent it down in deep to Carson, who gave it to Taylor in front. And then Taylor tried to shovel it by the goaltender Vernon, and he had it deflect up in front of him, and Vernon gloved it. And then Taylor got pushed hard into the crossbar by Joel Otto. Free agent Joel Otto signed by the Calgary Flames, and boy, what a find he was out of Bemidji State University, born in Elk River, Minnesota. Nichols with it in the Flame zone, gives it to Laidlaw, right side to Robitaille. Kings with a two-man advantage for 40 seconds. Back behind the net it goes to Carson. Carson in the Flame zone. He's got Playfair out in front. Carson to Nichols in the slot. He shoots wide to the right side. Rebound comes over to Suter. Suter gets bumped, kicks it behind the net. Kings try to hold it in. Suter's pass out toward the blue line, held in by Nichols. Nichols with a two-man advantage. Nichols, his pass deflected back to him. He gives it to Robitaille. Robitaille on the right side, back to Nichols. 14 seconds to go in the two-man advantage. Nichols spins, waits. Robitaille shoots wide. Rebound left side, Laidlaw. 8 seconds to go in the two-man advantage. Laidlaw to Nichols. To Laidlaw. Top of the slot. His pass to Carson in front. Score! Carson and Playfair were both there. The Kings have scored a power play goal, and both Carson and Playfair were there. And quite honestly, I don't know if it's Playfair's goal or Carson's goal, but I do know the Kings lead 5-2.
Well, Bob, I think Carson got his stick on it just before Playfair swung his. The puck is deflected. It bounces Carson and then trailing Playfair. But we'll wait for the official call. Playfair on the power play setting up in front. The power play goal at the exact time that the first penalty expired. So they're meeting over there to find out whether or not Berezan comes out as well. So we'll wait for that final decision. Always seems to be a lot of confusion when a goal is scored, when a penalty expires. The exact time, whether or not it's a power play or even strength, and in this situation, whether or not that second man comes out.
Seems to change every year, too.
Yeah, I think Berezan is coming out. So if Carson gets it, it will be his 4th of the playoffs and 2nd of the game. The power play goal at 14:08. And they're still discussing it. Here's the call.
Goal, 4th of the series, and 5th point scored by number 17, Jimmy Carson. Assist to number 3, Tom Laidlaw. And number 9, Bernie Nichols.
Well, Jimmy Carson right there along with Playfair, but Carson got his stick on it. Everybody's happy here at the Forum tonight, including the fans and Jimmy Carson. And the Kings certainly can score. We knew that from the regular season, but they had to get on track, and they did it tonight due to their play, and I think, quite frankly, due to some awful penalties taken by the Calgary players.
Well, let's bounce around the National Hockey League and see how the other teams are doing. Winnipeg gets into their series with Edmonton winning at home 6-4 tonight. They trailed 2-1 in games. Detroit up 2-1 in games with a 6-3 win tonight over the Leafs. Chicago wins for the first time 6-3 at home against St. Louis. Montreal up 3-0 on Hartford now. They win at Hartford 4-3. Buffalo, their first playoff win, 6-2 at home against Boston tonight. And in the Patrick, those Devils shut out the Islanders 3-0. They're up 2-1, and Philadelphia up 2-1 over Washington. They win at the Spectrum 4-3. The Kings still are complaining that the Kings still should have a power play. Now, Poplinski and Berezan were in the box. It was a 2-man advantage. The goal was scored at the exact time the first penalty was expiring, Poplinski's. And the referee, Don Koharski, is ruling that the second penalty will automatically expire with the scoring of that goal. So Robbie Ftorek wants a little more exact interpretation. And as you said, Bob, they seem to change that every year. Not necessarily in this situation, which is rare, but when a goal is scored at the exact time a penalty expires, whether or not it is a power play or even strength goal.
Well, faceoff will be out at center ice, and the Flames are back at full strength.
So with 2 guys coming out, I guess we have to say it was scored with a 1-man advantage, right?
Now at center ice, taken by Carpenter. Kings up by 3 again at 5-2 with 5:44 to go, 3rd period. Here's Tim Hunter for the Flames. He sends it ahead down across the line. Joe Nieuwendyk down the right side. A backhander and a save by Healy off his glove. Wells gives it on the right wing to Carpenter. He shovels it out to center ice. Merzen back to get it. His pass to the King line, taken down by Gary Roberts across the line with Nieuwendyk. He didn't get it. Here's Tim Hunter in deep. Poked away by Wells to Carpenter. Up to center ice. He gets it to the red line to Nichols. He's got Playfair. Left side. He shoots wide to the left. Rebound off the boards. Nieuwendyk clears it to center. Larry Playfair playing on a wing. The Kings have Kennedy back on defense with Wells. Wells, drives it into the Flame zone. Taken by Calgary. Kings change on the fly. 5 minutes to go, 3rd period. Next game between these 2 teams right back here tomorrow night. Here's Bob Bourne across the line in the slot. His pass deflected in front to Fenton. He poked at it, but a save made by Vernon. Fenton skating by from left to right, got his stick on it, couldn't deflect it into the net. Here's Hokenlube for Calgary. Throws it back behind the King net, cut off by Healy. Healy slaps it around the boards, left side, held in by the Flames though. Ramage, he gives it to Churla. Churla's pass behind the King net, taken away by Laidlaw, and he cannot clear it, gets it to Bourne. Bourne checked, and here's Lube out of his reach, taken by the Kings, cleared ahead now to center. Baumgartner, he gives it to Allison, and Mike Allison of the Kings drives it back into the Flame zone. We'll be on the air tomorrow night. Prime Ticket live at 7:15. KLAC with our talk show at 10 minutes to 7 tomorrow night. We invite you to call in. Kings trying to get back in this series, and they'll be down by 1 game if they win here tonight. And now as Ramage chases the puck down, he throws an elbow, and Gay throws a right at Ramage.
Yeah, Ramage really wants to get it, Gay. Look at this.
Ramage apparently thought he wasn't going to get a penalty. Then when he found out he was, he just took off and started throwing punches at Paul Gay.
You think that's an aggressor? An instigator?
Ramage is 6'2", 210 pounds. Paul Gay is 5'11", 185. So there's a mismatch. But everybody's still piled up along the boards as Rob Ramage, when he found out, I guess, that he was going to get a penalty, he went crazy. Paul Gay is being led over to the penalty box.
Jay Wells, along with Laidlaw and Patterson and Churla, got there quickly after Ramage went right after. You know, he just steamrolled over the linesman who was trying to separate the two. Churla now being restrained by Pat Capuzzo. And on the near side, we have Phil Sykes away from everybody else and Gary Suter.
Now they're going to be separated. They've been over there all by themselves, just doing a little waltz around. Joe Tripoli on the forum organ, providing the music for that dance. So a lot of equipment on the ice. Laidlaw is going to go to the penalty box. Colin Patterson of Calgary going to go to the penalty box.
This all began inside the Flames blue line. Ramage turned around by Gay. First elbow was thrown by Ramage. Then Gay roughs up Ramage. Whistle blows. Ramage is separated, skates away. Then he goes right after Gay. He goes right over through Finn to get at Gay, and Wells is trying to keep Ramage off Gay. So if Gay got the original penalty, Bob, Ramage has got to get the instigator, and that should nullify any power play situation.
I'm not sure that's right. I think what happened is Ramage threw an elbow, and that's when Gay threw a punch. And then when Ramage realized he was getting 2 minutes for elbowing, he just said, the heck with that. I'm wading right back in. When he saw the signal by the referee Koharski that both of you are going to go, that's when Ramage dropped his gloves and said, that's it, I'm coming back in. Because he threw an elbow at Gay.
Well, they all wash out, which I don't agree with, because obviously Gay and Ramage were getting original penalties for roughing, but when a guy is clearly an aggressor or an instigator and something like that, give him 10 minutes, get him out of the game.
Or give him the 2 for instigating.
Exactly. I can see maybe not giving instigating because there were no fighting majors given out, but certainly the referee has the option to give out additional penalties for starting or continuing things. And usually it's a misconduct or a game misconduct. But it really is academic at this point. 4:03 left and the Kings up 5-2. Again, 3 minors to each team. Gay a double minor, Laidlaw 1 minor, and for the Flames, Ramage a double minor, and Patterson a minor for roughing.
It's baffling to me when a guy comes in throwing rights and left that isn't a fighting major going to be handed out somewhere. 4:03 to go, third period. Kings 5, Flames 2.
Penalties mounting up. 52 minutes to the Flames, 44 to the Kings. And as I look back on the score sheet, Bob, they have all been minors. And and a couple of misconducts. Duchesne and McCrimmon with the misconducts. Everything else has been a minor penalty tonight.
All right, both teams at full strength. 4:03 to go in regulation, and the Kings have a 5-2 lead in Game 3 of this best-of-7 series. The Kings win here tonight. Of course, they play here again tomorrow night, and it would also force a Game 5 in Calgary on Tuesday night. Puck driven down into the Flames zone, stopped by Vernon. Now played up to Joel Otto. Here's Otto to center, 3-on-3. Otto to the left side, trying to get around Duchesne. He does. He goes in deep. Now he's bumped by Baumgartner. There's a penalty coming up.
Away from Baumgartner, Mullen, and whoever fell down with Mullen on the near side, I think, is going to get the penalty. I don't think the penalty is on Baumgartner for that hit. Might be Allison going, because as soon as well, now somebody threw a punch. Poplinski threw a punch at one of the Kings. Now everybody's pairing on. Who is that? Is that Mullen with Baumgartner? Oh my goodness. What a mismatch. Baumgartner and Mullen bond, the mismatch, and that's why the Flames are trying to come to the aid of Mullen.
Well, now, down along the board, we've got Baumgartner into a real battle with Poplinski, and he's got Poplinski bent over and whacked him a few times. Poplinski trying to come back, but Baumgartner wrestles him down to his knees. And now they're down on the ice.
Once everybody paired off, the Flames saw that there was that mismatch of Baumgartner and Mullen, and quite honestly, I don't think Baumgartner was fighting with Mullen, but then Poplinski charged in to make sure Mullen wasn't going to get involved with Baumgartner, and finally the main event turned out to be the two heavyweights, Baumgartner and Poplinski.
Now everybody kind of holding one another off, but the fans roaring as Baumgartner and Poplinski get up and stare at one another.
And the fans will get a look at Kenny Baumgartner's new hairdo.
And now we got
Allison and Otto still tussling along the boards to the right of the Kings bench. The linesmen are trying to get everybody not only to the penalty box, but just off the ice, which is the wise thing to do. L.A., baby. That's right, Kenny. You tell him. Kenny Baumgartner goes to his dressing room. Poplinski will go off for the Flames, and the linesmen have their work cut out for them.
Well, this would be the time, I think, for Don Koharski to step in and give a few other players a little early shower here.
Otto still wants to get at Allison, and Otto lost his balance and fell over backwards, and the crowd reacts.
Allison, Poplinski going off to his dressing room for the Calgary Flames. Mike Allison for the Kings. He'll get an early shower.
Probably
Joel Otto. You leaving too, Nick?
I'm going to leave too. Yeah, I've had enough.
Well, Nick will be leaving in a few moments to go down for our post-game show. He'll be talking with the star of the game.
If anybody's left to talk to. Well, this really sets up an interesting scenario for the start of tomorrow night's game. Is it going to continue like this tomorrow night?
The referee, Don Koharski, skating over backward toward the penalty timekeeper. Joel Otto is up, and he's being shown the door by Ron Finn, and Finn kind of shoving Otto, so that's all for him tonight. Fans booing Otto as he goes off the ice.
Talk about Kenny Baumgartner and the impact on this hockey club as Joel Otto goes to the dressing room for the Calgary Flames. So 4 players we know of are gone for the balance of this contest. Baumgartner doesn't want to go with the Joey Mullins, the Hoken Lubes. He won't go unless it's a heavyweight, the tough guy on the other team. Give him credit, because he wrapped himself up with Joey Mullen as everybody paired off, and I never saw Baumgartner do anything to Mullen. He just kind of grabbed a hold, and Mullen wanted to get in tight to prevent being hit, obviously. But when Poplinski came barreling in to make sure Baumgartner wasn't going to take advantage of that mismatch, that's when everything developed.
The referee and the linesman will sort it out now, although we know that 4 players are gone. 3:44 to go here in the third period. The Kings have a 5-2 lead in this third game of the best-of-7 playoff series. The Flames have a 2-0 lead right now. Game 4 tomorrow night. Live on Prime Ticket at 7:15 with our pregame show. Live on KLAC Radio, 570 on the AM dial with our talk show at 10 minutes to 7.
Again, it all started. Baumgartner comes in, hits Otto. Allison is going to take down Mullen in front of the net to the left of Healy. Allison was getting a penalty for that. Now there's going to be an elbow thrown on our simulcast by Allison on Joey Mullen. Allison is still rolling around as everybody congregates. Duchesne is there. Poplinski wants to get involved. Then everybody started to pair off, and that's when we got the three-ring circus, so to speak. And referee Don Koharski, who has had a busy night, needless to say, power play after power play, penalty after penalty, first period, second period, third period. There hasn't been an easy period penalty-wise the entire night. And through it all, Glenn Healy has been one of the bright spots for the Los Angeles Kings. His second consecutive playoff start. Some big saves when it was still a one-goal hockey game, Bob, in that second period. Lube on the breakaway, McInnes on the power play. And that's what you have to have in playoffs. Good goaltending.
Yes, sir, and the Kings have gotten it, and we will see who's going to be in there tomorrow night. That's game 4 of this series. Live on Prime Ticket at 7:15 with a pregame show, and live on KLAC with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7. We invite you to call in and talk hockey. There are tickets available for tomorrow night's game at the Forum box office, open at 10 a.m. and all Ticketmaster outlets. Here are the penalties.
Misconduct. Number 29, Joel Otto, 4 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Los Angeles penalties to number 22, Ken Baumgartner, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Number 10, Mike Allison, 2 minutes for high sticking, a double minor, 4 minutes for roughing and a game misconduct. Third man in. Time of the penalties, 16-16.
What does it mean?
Repeating,
strength
Calgary.
on the ice, power play Calgary. The only penalty that is not offsetting is the original penalty, Allison, for high sticking Joey Mullen in front of the net. Allison is gone for the game, as is Baumgartner and Poplinski. Otto, double minor for roughing and a misconduct, so he is gone as well. So all these penalties at 16-16 in Calgary will have the power play. So Joey Mullen, who was wrapped up with Baumgartner and was taken down by Allison, didn't get a penalty. The other Kings out there, Bourne, Fenton, and Duchesne, they got away without a penalty. 5-2, the Kings are in front. Don Koharski, the referee tonight, apparently feels he has sorted everything out, and we should resume play in a few moments. We've had a lengthy delay here of, I would say, close to 10 minutes. It's been a long night with all the penalties called by the official. And Robbie Fedoruk is just standing on the bench as the cleanup crew continues its work on the ice. The linesmen, Finn and DiPuzzo, getting broken sticks, splintered sticks. The gloves and sticks have been picked up by the respective players. Around the National Hockey League, Winnipeg a winner tonight, 6-4. Oilers still lead the series 2-1. Detroit wins for the second straight time, 6-3 at Toronto tonight. They're up 2-1. Chicago, their first win at home tonight, 6-3 over St. Louis. Blues still lead 2-1 in games. Montreal 3-0 up on Hartford now. They win tonight 4-3. Buffalo wins their first game at home at the odds, 6-2 over Boston. New Jersey up 2-1. Shutout Sean Burke over the Islanders, 3-0 tonight. Philadelphia up 2-1 as they shade Washington at the Spectrum, 4-3. And game 4 for all 16 teams in the playoffs tomorrow night. And of course the Kings will be here with Calgary at 7:30. The penalties tonight, 81 minutes for Calgary, 75 for the Kings. We have had a total of 51 different penalties called by referee Don Koharski. The Kings are up 5-2 with 3:44 left.
And the Flames on the power play. So far tonight, they are 0 for 7. Puck taken by McInnes at his own blue line over to Lanny McDonald. He drives it into the Kings zone. Stopped by Healy, and the loose puck taken by Wells. Wells pass to the blue line, not out. Held in by Suter. Suter's pass left side to Lanny McDonald. His drive, and it's wide, but a penalty coming up against Calgary. Interference to call against Gary Roberts.
He's pointing the referee at Glenn Healy. He may have interfered with Healy or the crease. Roberts can't believe it. There goes your Calgary power play.
So
this penalty at 16:37.
They are now 0 for 8 on the power play tonight.
Roberts in the penalty box for interference. Flames trying to get the puck in front. Roberts bumps Glenn Healy, and Healy helped that call. I don't think Roberts was in the crease, but Healy came out and kind of leaned into Roberts, and Roberts couldn't believe it.
So both teams are going to be shy a man with 3:23 to go here in this third period. Kings ahead 5-2, and the faceoff just outside the King blue line. Calgary, the best power play team in the league in the regular season, 0 for 8 here tonight.
And all the crazy guys here at the Forum are having fun. Crazy Cliff, the gentleman in the purple and gold. I tell you, he's going to get in shape doing all the running and yelling tonight, isn't he?
Well, maybe not that many games left in the season. Even if we went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. Face-off just outside the King blue line again. Bobby Carpenter against Perry Berezan, and Carpenter wins the draw back into the King zone. Here's Wells with it. Wells checked in the corner, and Håkan Luke tried to take it away. Wells gets up, pokes it up the right side. Kings start out to center now. Here's Bobby Carpenter with it. Gives it back to Duchesne. Duchesne's long pass just out of the reach of Lachlan coming down the right side. Poked away with the goaltender Vernon. Each team is a man shy with 2:58 to go here in this third period, with the Kings ahead 5-2. Flames with it. Berezan across the line. Right wing with room. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Dropped down to his knees to make the save, and Duchesne has it now. Here's Duchesne up to center, giving it to Lachlan. Craig Lachlan flips it high in the air into the Calgary zone. 2:37 to go, third period. Don't forget our post-game show. Nick will talk with the player of the game. We'll recap all the scores and highlights. Here's Lanny McDonald with a shot. Wide, poked into the board by Healy. Now Kennedy goes for it. He's checked down in the right wing corner. In the King zone, Lanny McDonald tried to dig it out. Flames try to hold it in. They do. McInnes, right point. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Off his stick and off the glass. Kings trying to clear it as Sykes has it. He brings it up to the blue line and cleared it easily to center ice. Both teams still a man shy for 21 seconds. Then the Kings will have a short power play. 2 minutes to go, third period. Reinhart to Lanny McDonald. King zone. Broken up by Playfair. And Playfair back to center to Carson. Carson right wing. Trying to get around McInnes. Carson driving. Gets a one-hand shot. Stop made easily by Vernon. And Vernon sends it up to his own blue line. Back from the Flames 2-on-2. 1:44 to go. Third period. Here's Reinhart for the Flames. His shot blocked by Wells. Taken by Robitaille. Here's Robitaille to center. He's got Taylor and Carson with him 3-on-2. Robitaille to Carson. Right wing. Poked away by Nieuwendyk. Carson to the right point. Holds it in. Drives it into Taylor. Right wing corner. Poked away from him with 1:23 to go. Third period. Don't forget tomorrow night. Game 4. Tickets available. Forum box office. Ticketmaster outlet. Puck is out at center ice. Taken by Nieuwendyk. Flames with it. Here's McCrimmon at his own blue line. His pass in deep now. Flames come back to center. Trailing by 3. Here's Håkan Lube on the right wing. Bumped hard into the boards on the right wing side by Lachlan. 1 minute to go. Third period. Here's Fenton to center. Pulled down, no penalty. McCrimmon with it for the Flames. Now across the King line. Playfair breaks it up. Kings are going to get back in the series. They're going to trail 2-1. They're going to send it back to Calgary for one more time next Tuesday night at least. Puck comes up to center. Here's Suter for Calgary. Across the line, dropped it off to the left point. Pass in front. Lanny McDonald with a shot and a save by Healy. 30 seconds to go. Third period. Sykes checks the scoreboard clock, then flips it into the Flame zone. The sellout crowd is on their feet. 20 seconds to go. 5-2 Kings. Here's Berezan for Calgary. He gets it to Lanny McDonald, left wing side. His pass broken up by Carpenter, not cleared. Berezan with it. 10 seconds to go. Berezan, left wing side, spins away from Kennedy, up the middle. Shot wide by Merzen. 2 seconds to go, and it is all over. Congratulations, and helmet bumping all around for King rookie goaltender Glenn Healy. Evens his playoff goaltending record at 1-1. High fives by fans in the crowd. And the Kings are down 2 games to 1 with Game 4 coming up here tomorrow night. So a great effort by the Kings in front of a sellout crowd here tonight at the Fabulous Forum. The final score, the Kings 5. Calgary Flames. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Toyota, quality right down the line. Who could ask for anything more? And by Beck's Beer. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Hello again, everybody. Back here at the Fabulous Forum where the Kings have won their first playoff game. They're now down 2 games to 1 against Calgary. The final score tonight, 5-2. A physical, intense game played by both clubs, and our player of the game, one of the physical players for the Los Angeles Kings, a guy who was a pillar on defense all night long, veteran Jay Wells. Jay, congratulations on a great individual performance. If you had to sum up the game tonight, would you say a big factor was Kings' intensity?
Yeah, every one of us, all 20 of us out there, we were taken to the body. We just weren't giving them any edge whatsoever, and we took the game away from them, and we dumped it in. We went after it, and never really let them get it going. And it was a great effort by everybody. Was that the game plan tonight? That was, we tried it both games up in Calgary, but they're a good team. Calgary's a very good team, and they played real well, especially in their own barn. So that was our plan, to try to hold them up as much as we can, give our defense lots of time to move it. And we got some real good players back there, and we can move it if we got time. And the forwards did a great job tonight of holding players up, and we had lots of time. We moved it out, and we were in their end the whole night.
Jay, many times a team will start out with that intensity, and then I guess sometimes naturally you let up. But I didn't think the Kings let up in periods 2 or 3.
Well, we've had a great record the last 6-7 games at home here, and we just got a lot of confidence right now playing at home, home advantage, and that I think kind of rolled right over from period to period. We could feel us playing better and better every period, and that seemed to keep us going. Now, what can we expect tomorrow night in Game 4? Well, we're going to have to come out and do the exact same thing again. We're going to lose Ken Baumgartner for the next game because that's his third misconduct or game misconduct. So we're going to miss him a little bit, but we're all going to have to chip in and do the exact same thing again. We play a lot of back-to-back games, so I think it's a great favor to us right now. They don't play a lot of back-to-back games, so they're going to be tired. They're physically tired, I think. So we're going to come out, keep bumping and grinding them, and I think we can wear them out. We're in better shape, I feel. All right, Jay, congratulations on a great effort. Thank you very much, Nick. But I'd like to say one thing that, on behalf of Jimmy Fox, he was very disappointed tonight. He wanted to play real bad for his father and his parents, and he just wishes that his father gets well real soon, and all the best. All right, apparently Jimmy Fox's dad suffered a stroke, and on behalf of the Kings organization, we certainly think and hope that everything is all right with Jimmy Fox and his father. Jay Wells, our player of the game, and for appearing, he will receive a Sony Watchman, courtesy of Dove International. Dove International, makers of premium ice cream treats, Dove bars, and Rondos. The Kings win it 5-2. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
If you could ask for Toyota